Welcome! How's everyone doing today? My name is 𝙂𝙚𝙣𝙚. I'm a variety streamer. I stream lots of video game chat suggests me as well as I draw art, and hopefully I'll be doing 3D modeling for everyone here. Welcome! How's everyone doing today? Pretty much friend let me know that TADC episode 9 trailer just came out, and like I gotta watch this. I have to watch this. So yeah, pretty much we're gonna be reacting to TADC pretty much the Amazing Digital Circus episode 9 trailer by Gooseworks, hosted by Glitch Productions. That being said, let's get right to it. Oh god, what the fuck is going on with my graphics? Hold on real quick. There we go. No, graphics card is not freaking out on me. I've been having issues with my graphics card.
Are you sure?
That means...
Please,
just now, we have nothing.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Oh.
What do we do now?
I really wanted to help.
Oh shit.
Jax?
Have you ever done something that you regret?
1 hour. Drops on YouTube, Netflix. And wait. For limited time only, you can experience episode 9 as early as. That's a feature-length film experience combining. Oh, this isn't. It's gonna be in theaters. June 4th screening. Oh my god. Yo. All right. You can get to see it as early as June 4th. Fortunately, I'm gonna be waiting until June 19. I know as soon as the June 4 comes around, there's going to be a lot of spoilers. Unfortunately, as much as I want to go to the theaters, I don't have the money to do so. I just don't. Anywho. I didn't think I'm still waiting until this graphics update. Whatever they did with the graphics drivers, they fucked up badly.
Officially been codified into their nursery rhymes.
6, 7, go to heaven. You got to balance. What's balance?
What the fuck?
That's the most disturbing thing I've seen in years. Like, I'm more disturbed at that than if I found out that my new speech and debate coach was RFK Jr. Here are the reasons that I believe cereal should count.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Seriously, what the fuck? Hold on, I got... Oh, so basically, what are the YouTube channel name again? Casey Simpson, alright. Reacting to Gen Alpha, Still Can't Read Anything by Casey Simpson. That being said, let's get started.
Just when I'd thought we'd seen the worst of Gen Alpha, brain rot has officially been codified into their nursery rhymes.
6, 7, go to heaven. You got to balance. What's balance? I shoot with AK-47.
That's the most
What the
disturbing
fuck?
thing I've seen in years, bro. Like, I'm more disturbed at that than if I found out that my new speech and debate coach was RFK Jr. Here are the reasons that I believe cereal should count as soup. Growing up, we had real rhymes, right?
Well, I'm still held up by The fucking, holy shit. Are you serious? Are you serious? What the fuck? Yo. Nah. Nah.
Like, you remember when a boy and a girl would play together for 3 seconds in recess, and everyone would start shouting, "First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes a baby in the baby carriage, and that's not all, and that's not..."
Oh my god. I remember those nursery rhymes. They weren't, technically they were not a fit, that particular one was not an official nursery rhyme. I think a sadistic parent pretty much did that to their own child. For instance, saying that to their own child, like, holy shit. You know, I know like I think that what? Only I think nursery rhymes like in the books. Because I only consider nursery rhymes like that are written books, the official ones, and the rest being made up by someone somewhere in history. Hey Saltyville, welcome. How you doing today? We just we just wrapped up our reaction and analysis for episode 9 for the episode 9 trailer. Welcome. How you doing today?
Not all, the baby's playing basketball, and that's not all, and that's not all, the baby's shooting up a shopping mall, like whatever. Now the kids'
What the
rhymes, they
fuck?
keep the violence, but they add the cocoa melon. Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing? What's going on?
Tell me why the 6-year-old threatening to shoot you with the AK-47 is the least insane part of that video. On our channel Discord, someone
Oh my
complained to me
God.
that their Gen Alpha cousin is watching this every morning. And a Gen Alpha responded, "I can confirm, I watch this every morning." And the first thing I was thinking when I saw the Gen Alpha write that was, "You're Gen Alpha and you can write?"
What the fuck? What the fuck?
After watching that, I thought 2 things. Number 1, why are we continuing the human project?
I bet he really didn't care about the copyright on that.
Just, we should wrap it up. Maybe when the Cubs won the World Series, like, that would have been a good note to end on. And if Gen Alpha's growing up on that, then I'm impressed Gen Alpha is even able to, like... Well, wait, what can they do? I'm amazed that Gen Alpha can at least, like, say the word cocoa melon. Because if I grew up on that video, I can tell you guys, I would not be here today, alright? I would be begging for the sweet release of Dan Schneider's Lair. But maybe I take back the Gen Alpha...
No. No. Come on. Come on, my dude. My guy, come on. No. What the oh my. I was caught so off guard by that. Holy shit. What in the actual fuck? Seriously, what in the actual fuck? No, I was so caught off guard by that. It's not even funny. What are we doing? Also, that pause is funny as fuck. What are we doing? Look, I'm not surprised about the Gen Alpha nursery rhyme. I'm shocked that you even fucking said that in the first place. I know it's for shock value. At this point, I really think he is milking Gen Alpha a little too much and looking at the parent. I noticed, like, I've reacted to a few of his videos at this point already. I noticed he's not questioning the parents. He's saying, "Oh, Gen Alpha can't read. Gen Alpha can do this. Can do that." Yeah, we already know. Are you going to question the parents or not?
I can say the word cocoa melon. Like, look at this Gen Alpha try to explain a very common literary device in a very common word.
What kind of foreshadowing video are you showing me?
Subtle foreshadowing?
One more time.
Subtle foreshadowing.
Subtle foreshadowing. Cool, yeah.
Okay, nobody tell him about the pterodactyl or the 2013 hit film Gnomeo and Juliet. Because what these Gen Alpha kids lack in knowledge, they make up for in confidence. These kids are not afraid to tell you what they think.
Mommy? Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ! That bass boost, what the fuck?
Sandwich, by the way.
Thanks for letting me know.
Ready
Just wanted to help you out here.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If you try to show your butt off, it's flat.
Not her
What's with the basements of all these fucking videos? What the fuck?
saying that as she like scooted away on her pink rainbow scooter.
I miss my meme.
No, you don't. Your man's home.
Hallelujah!
That's loud.
Okay, sorry.
Do it nicely.
Oh, yeah.
Get like me.
No, she don't.
Mine fat.
I want you to put that on it.
Now your baby is out. Yeah. But why are you so fat? When I turn to a grown up.
Okay, that last one. This one here. Every baby from every generation had said something similar to that. That's not just a Gen Alpha thing. That's a generational thing.
I don't want to be a fat grown up. I want to be a skinny grown up.
Do you know any fat grown-ups?
It's more like a friend.
Why you did that?
Oh my
I
god.
don't know. I just shouldn't did it. I did it by mistake. I'm sorry.
I can't blame her. She did it by a steak. You know, that tenderloin can make you do crazy things sometimes. But my favorite has got to be this concerning intersection between historical illiteracy and disinhibition.
Hey, Dad.
Just because yes, Junior.
What year were you born?
I was born in 1984.
1984.
Yes, sir. Some of the best years in life. So you gotta get up there. You can't be scared to play with these dudes or none like
How
that.
was it being a slave?
You just
Oh my. Oh my god. You know, an unhealthy parent, a very unhealthy mentally ill parent with anger issues would have beat that child up the wazoo.
So I know some people don't like Ronald Reagan, but what I didn't like about Reagan was his 1984 executive order that revived slavery. And sometimes these kids will say the most impudent things because they're trying to support you. Like this girl saw her mom loading up the car with gas, and the girl concluded it's because her mom can't get a boyfriend. But she's still like, you go girl, you don't need a boyfriend, you get your own gas.
That's my mom putting gas because she got no man. Ay, get her.
See, supportive. I'm just so concerned that these kids
Supportive
are thinking
in the wrong way. Toxic feminist.
such adult topics when they should be focused on their childhood. But when you get access to the internet at 7 and your regular slang terms include 𝙂𝙚, then there's no avoiding seeing the adult world through your very juvenile lens. You got kids acting like they're Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness, you know, some 40-year-old down on his luck insurance salesman trying to get the next promotion.
Oh
Be a great
no.
dad because I care for my family a lot, and I also have a lot of passion. I would provide for my family, except I got no money.
Why are you thinking you're 7 years old? Why are you thinking of a fucking family already? To be fair, as kids, Zoomer, older Gen Z, millennials, we also did something like that, and when we were toddlers. Not today is more the nursing rhymes thing as before. But also like why are people with bicycle? Oh god. And here it's more of like what was it going on again? You know the doll pretty much it used to like, you know the times like play whenever you like on a play, your parents made you go on a play date when you were a kid. You had to perform either you're playing house or you're playing video games with the homies. I was one of the playing house all the time. But yeah.
You're a kid.
Yeah, I know. I got like 20 bucks.
But when you're maybe an adult,
I'm still in debt though.
you're in debt?
Yeah, I kind of am. Yeah.
You're a kid, how are you in debt?
I owe my mom something because I thought I had more money than I actually had. Life is just a game of baseball, really. If you keep working, eventually you'll hit that home run and you'll feel great about yourself. Or
Kit, my sweet summer child. It's already bad enough out here. Where pretty much the economy's already bad. Oh, when this kid has a rude awakening, and it's pretty much gonna be somehow 100 to 300 times worse than it is right now. Oh god, I feel bad for this kid. I feel bad for this kid.
Like, there's the times where you strike out or make an error in the field.
I swear, that kid is about to sell me an e-course with Grant Cardone, okay? So this has created a brain rot arms race where parents are trying to ape their kids' doom scroll sludge because they think they'll communicate better. Picking up brain rot to speak better is kind of like chopping off your limbs to become a better dancer.
Bruh,
Or parent lobotomy.
you know we don't hit our brother. That is 0 IQ behavior. You, did you make this? Yeah.
Seriously, why are you encouraging this? Why not take the tablet away and correct your child's behavior? Take the tablet away and correct your child's behavior. Because we don't need any more brain rot kids. Ma'am, we don't need any more brain rot kids. Because you're gonna learn real fast when your child cannot even hold down a job, let alone get one.
This is so fire. It doesn't matter that the dinner's mid. You have to 100% your plate if you want any dessert. Bruh, you made your bed without
Coded video I've seen in years.
That's such a big brain activity.
That is the most millennial coded video I've seen in years.
Millennial code. Yes, it is so millennial coded, but somehow even worse.
Bro. Speaking of bro, apparently that's Gen Alpha's new watchword. Everyone is bro, including like their mom, Linda.
You didn't give your fucking you did not give your 8-year-old fucking phone. Cat, let's see. I got my phone when I was 16. My first phone when I was 16 years old. My parents waited. I think the only reason why I got a phone at 16 was because of the killer clowns thing that was going on. That was the only reason why.
So apparently this girl's entire conversation with her mom included calling her bro and asking for more Roblox money, including my favorite text. She calls her mom cringe while using the wrong form of your. But hey, she calls her mom bro. At least that's a
Your the grammar, the grammar war of your versus your. Classic, very classic.
somewhat affectionate moniker. This kid just calls his mom Linda. Linda.
I have to yell at you guys.
Listen, 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 listen. That's what he's gonna sound like in the future. I'm happy you fucking tried to do that and to do that to me, trying to talk over me and yell in my face.
Gen Alpha feels so comfortable calling their parents by their first names or lashing out at them like this. Bro, that kid decided it was his mom's time.
Nah. If my kid fucking tried to kick me like that, I'm not gonna be throwing hands. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be lifting that kid off the ground and slamming him on his bed. And not gonna lie, I'll pretty much walk out, close the door, and hold the door closed to make sure that kid doesn't fucking get out. Or yeah, eventually gives up.
Is because of millennials' misunderstanding of gentle parenting that created this generation of kids. What?
Yeah, what millennials think is gentle parenting, it was actually permissive parenting. Not gonna lie. millennials, as a Gen Z, as an older Gen Z, as a Zoomer, I do understand. We had strict parents. We had strict parents who pretty much wasn't really right in the head. Some of them were, or most of them were really not in the head, not in the right headspace. And I don't know how some of them became parents, but still.
Chloe Grace Moretz Choppelganger explained.
I remember I could always tell right away.
I'm kidding. I just wanted to use the word Choppelganger. I'm not saying this girl is
Choppelganger, come on.
But she does look like Chloe Grace Moretz.
When I was nannying, which parents were trying to use this approach.
Chloe, yo, come on.
Consequences for your actions was a concept that seemed completely alien to these children. One time, a boy who was like 8 or 9 years old was upset with me, and he came up and he slapped me straight across the face. I had never seen behavior like this. And I believe the fight had something to do with watching TV. I took away all of his electronics, his iPad, his TV privileges for the rest of the week. And every day he thought that I was going to cave and give it back to him for some reason, and he was astounded that I held up these consequences for his actions. Another time, he and his siblings would often throw a massive fit when I told them they had to at least eat some of their dinner if they wanted to get dessert, because for some reason this family did dessert every single night. When I wasn't paying attention, they went and tried to throw all their food in the garbage. And I said, A, I guess you guys are okay with not having dessert tonight. And B, I don't want to hear it from you guys when you're hungry later, because you just threw all the food I made for you in the garbage. Then they started complaining about being hungry later that night because they genuinely thought I was still going to give them dessert for whatever reason.
Yo, these parents. These fucking parents. Oh. Ooh. Not gonna lie, when I was a kid, I had done that once. And once only. I got spanked up the wazoo for that. And that was the only time that was the only punishment that was fair. The rest, I think that's only one of 2 punishments that was fair. The rest, no. It was straight up abuse.
And I said, no, you guys can go make yourselves some real food, but I told you there's not going to be dessert tonight if you didn't eat your first meal. And the more I set these boundaries and patterns, the less issues we were having with dinner every night. And it always felt really nice to hear the parents commenting how the kids were just genuinely behaving better.
Thank you, Chloe. So because these kids don't respect their parents, play outside, have a childhood to enjoy, they spend their whole day thinking about Roblox and Stanley Cups, or literally making TikToks in every corner of their already digital world. They'll make TikToks outside your car while you're in the car. To be fair, this girl didn't know that someone was in the car, but this has got to be one of the craziest videos of all time.
I'm literally at my kid's soccer practice, and this person is making a TikTok against my car. They don't see me because my windows are tinted, and she's literally just dancing. Does anyone know who this is? Hold on. Excuse me. I'm right here.
Oh, poor girl.
Yep, poor kid. Poor kid is traumatized. Funny as hell to fucking surprise him like that.
And I feel for her. Not saying this goes for everyone, but when I was first getting into Musical.ly, it was fun for a while, but then it became so much of a thing I had to do. As stupid as making Musical.ly sound as a thing I had to do sounds.
What is this?
It lost a bit of its luster, a bit of its authenticity. The same way Mr. Beast used to make all these crazy, genuine videos no one had ever seen before, and now he makes all his content like he's running a Henry Ford assembly line. I worry how many of these kids really, truly, madly, deeply love making silly TikToks, and how many of them just feel the pressure to seem pretty to their classmates or seem trendy by making a TikTok. Especially when you have kids at 7 years old on something called Polybuzz, where these young boys just stare at pretty girls from TikTok.
What the fuck? Yo. Nah. You know what that's me? Whoever thought of that idea is a fucking creep. And anyone who actively made that app, even if they're paid, they're also creeps. Holy shit. Nah. No, this is why. This is the exact reason why I refuse to do a face reveal. This type of shit here is the exact reason why I refuse to do a face reveal. That is wild. How do they feel getting away with this shit? Generally, how?
Bruh, growing up, the prettiest girls I saw were from like actual TV episodes, okay? Like watching Victorious or something.
Yes.
And so now there's an inevitable huge backlash among Gen Z and millennials to what Gen Alpha culture has become. But the proposed solutions are not the right ones. Like millennials and Gen Zs have responded to Gen Alpha having this anti-education culture by just showing Gen Alpha the memes that was popular when millennials and Gen Z were kids. We don't save Gen Alpha by just like showing them the duck song. Like look at this millennial putting.
Why? Who thought of that? Look, I'm Gen Z, and even I think that's a stupid ass idea. Why not fucking make sure whoever many Gen Zs and good, quote unquote, good millennial parents are out there. Gen Z, let's make sure we raise an actual good generation. But also let's make sure we don't leave any bruises on the bruises on the kids, alright?
A gun to her Gen Alpha sister's head to make sure she watches like some anime meme from when she was a kid.
Oh my god.
How intense the millennial is taking this. I don't think.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
It's gonna have the intended result. My favorite is this little boy who has a millennial brother, so he talks like he was born in 1988.
No. You're doing too much.
Give me the lemon.
You're not real.
Aww. Keep also, what the fuck? Parent. Come on.
Okay. No. Let's put that away. Go put your jacket on and your shoes. Let's go.
Bruh. What can I say? He's a bad, he's a 10.
The kid's even bringing back bruh. That makes me proud. But there's
That makes me proud. Okay, that makes me proud. Okay, so Gen Z, millennials, the good ones. Let's make sure we strictly raise our children with our slang in mind. Let's bring back the memes we grew up with and make absolutely sure that those memes are going to be cycled through, going to be recycled for generations to come. We got to make sure that happens. So imagine, so we could probably imagine, the Rickroll is already dying with Gen Alpha. We gotta make sure Rickroll doesn't die. Alright? We gotta make sure people keep getting Rickrolled or Duckrolled or whatever.
just like a mean spirit to Gen Alpha. They will insult you and then insult each other. Like this kid found out. This kid who I can only assume is preparing to star as Rainbow Dash in the live action remake.
Here's the thing. Millennials, including you, the one reacting to. Y'all have insulted your parents at least once. Either in a funny way or you got your ass whooped. Cause I remember my older sibling. There's a story of I think it was my aunt told me that my older sibling pretty much insulted birther and said I think it's birther was, I don't fucking know, she's trying to seek validation from her own children. And my little brother, very young, we were both very young. I was barely a toddler. But my older sibling said that he wants his mom back. Oh my god, when I learned about that, I was fucking hilarious. Because she had a fucking afro. She decided to try an afro, and like... Apparently, I started crying. My brother's... my older sibling, my brother. Older brother. I said that he wants his mom back. Fucking hell, that's fucking hilarious.
Of My Little Pony.
I'm like, hey guys, how's it going? What are you looking for? And they're like, we're just looking. Okay. You're the shopper. You're the customer. You know what you're doing. I'm not worried about it. So I was like, okay, just let me know if you have any questions.
Jesus Christ. These kids are like, if they woke up every morning, actually, the 30, kind of like 30, 40-year-old that wakes up every morning is cranky without their coffee.
Questions, no big deal. One of the girls is like, we're not gonna have any questions. We know the store pretty well. And then they laugh to each other.
What the fuck?
This idiot. Forget that dummy behind the counter. Mean.
Bro, I would like never recover from that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
They don't just talk to other people like that. They talk to each other like that. Because then the other girl, not the one who was directly mean to me, but the other one, is talking to her friend, and she's like, oh, I really wanted one of those Labubus that they were selling in the store that we were just in. I think they're closed, but do you think we can come back tomorrow and get one? And her friend, not even breaking away from looking at the friendship necklaces, was like, first of all, that was a Lafufu. You don't want a Lafufu. You're gonna get bullied, one, for having a fake Labubu, a fake version of something that's trending, and two, for having one at all, because they're not even in anymore. Oh
damn.
My god.
Rookie mistake going with the Lafufu. True story, I was hanging out with my friends, I brought out my own Lafufu, and they shot me in the face.
If someone said that to me, I would cry for weeks. I'm expecting this little girl to start like crying or go completely silent, and then her friend is like, no, you're totally right, they're so not in, that would be so lame. Flips her hair and starts looking at the friendship necklaces too. What?
Jesus, I would not be that mean to anyone. Holy shit. Holy shit. And these parents fucking allow this behavior. They fucking enable it too. What the And not gonna lie, I have pretty much I said the most out of context memes to one of my besties. And she calls me out through a meme, and I call her out through a meme as well. Pretty much we're shit talking each other through memes. With you know, I think it is one teacher that's on TikTok saying, and Gen Z has a pretty much Gen Z's humor is pretty much being mildly threatening, but not enough to have the cops called on this. Yeah, that's also my sense of humor with my bestie.
I've never in my life seen an interaction that was that vile and that normal. Like, they were so chill about just being outwardly aggressive with everything they said. It was like watching an episode from Mean Girls where like Karen says something dumb and then Regina is like, you idiot, and she's like, yeah, I'm such an idiot.
I'm just glad I'm not in middle school now. I can't imagine
Jesus
my classmates
Christ.
turning to me and going like this.
You're not even a Stacy.
How does my maxilla look? What do you mean you don't drink out of an Awala? What do you drink out of then? A Stanley? My mom got me a Park mock neck. Your mom didn't get you a Park mock neck.
Dude, all
Jesus
the girls
Christ.
in our class would get mocked.
School every day. And there's something I've noticed. A Gen Alpha commented on that video. That's exactly how it
As a middle schooler, I can confirm.
feels to go to school every day. And there's something I've noticed as someone who tries to do things and interact with the world and learn things, that when I want to do some project that I think is cool, like a rap battle.
Nah. If I was a middle schooler in today's day and age, I would pretty much, oh, even like when I was in middle school, pretty much as a quiet kid. Kept to myself, kept good grades up, stuff like that. But I also didn't really make much memories or make many friends because mostly due to my parents being absolute fucking assholes. But Gen Alpha, you can't even be a quiet kid. I know you can't even be a quiet kid. Even the quiet kid, both pretty much normalize. They normalize bullying, pretty much. If you don't act the way that Gen Alpha acts, they will bully you. They will bully anyone. I really don't expect them to pretty much keep a job or keep a job at all.
Between C.S. Lewis and JFK. When my acquaintances see it, they'll be like, oh, is that for class or for fun? Like, it's a weird dichotomy. Like, why can't you learn something outside of class? Why can't you do something that makes you grow your understanding of the world and as a person and not it be for class? And why does class have to be not fun? Like, I know this is sort of the world that we all live in now, but it's such a sad state of affairs. Like, if you could tell, like, the first guy to go to school that, like, people are gonna hate this every day, like, he'd be like, are you kidding me? This place is amazing. Bro, imagine being the first person to go to school.
Hey, Jimmy, you wanna hang tomorrow?
Oh, sorry, I got school.
What?
So I thought of this when I saw this video, where apparently kids who aren't explicitly taught the months of the year just don't know any months or years.
What the fuck? Jeff brother said they don't teach months in a year, so he doesn't know.
You know, this gives me an idea. I'm gonna go to my...
I think the parents that's pretty much parents' fault. Also, preschool also teaches the months, days, and years. I think pretty much. I understand we're all busy. We have too much on our plate. At the same time, you gotta be realistic about what you can actually do as a parent. If you're already like working your ass off and barely have any time for yourself before you have kids, if you barely have time for yourself before you have kids, how the fuck are you supposed to raise kids in the first place? That's my real question.
An alpha cousin and be like, you know what month it is? He's gonna be like, no, obviously. I'm just gonna start making up months. It's actually the month of Chapel Ronerary, and it's the year 2. So my cousin's gonna go around thinking it's the year 2. Louis C.K. has a great bit on this. He's like, you guys know they didn't call it the year 2 in the year 2. Nobody was like, hey, what year is it? It's 2. It's 2? Yeah, the year is 2. But I'm 29. Yeah, you were born in negative 27. Oh, that's right.
No.
It must have been so terrifying.
Aw, hi babe. I mean, I have my mouth open for a reason, wink wink nudge nudge. Shrugs.
When the year started counting backwards, you know, like it's the year negative 27, and then next year it's negative 26, and then the next year it's like negative 25.
I spent some time doing opening source read sucked hard. I mean, there are things that suck harder, you know? If you know where to look. I had to.
And finally it's the year negative 2, and you're like, oh my god, what's gonna happen in 2 years? Like, what's going wrong?
January,
I would have mocked you.
February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December.
But just technologically, Gen Alpha is in a world reborn. They don't write, so they don't use pencils, so they don't use pencil sharpeners.
Bro, tell me why I just found out that in some elementary schools and middle schools now, they don't use pencil and paper anymore. They use a tablet. No pencil, no nothing. That means the next generation of kids will never know what it's like to put on...
Oh my god. How come Red doesn't have PvP? Because I'm lazy. Just lazy. That lazy. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
A fire ass fit, then walk up to the pencil sharpener to show it off. The original aura farming, bro. That's crazy. What are they replacing that with? What's the new version of that? Going to the charging station for the tablet? That's not tough, bro. That's not.
Okay, to be honest, I never did that. Did anyone do that? Maybe I never did that because I like dressed up as Dr.
I think it pretty much what happened when I was in grade school. Like in the latter half of my grade school, pretty much in junior and senior year, we were mostly using. So pretty much, we still had notebooks, stuff like that, using notebooks, writing down stuff like that. But most of the time, we were using laptops to get like projects done and stuff like that. So we were heading to a hyper digitalized age. Oh, just no one really batted an eye back then.
But the one undefeated card Gen Z and millennials can hold over Gen Alpha whenever Gen Alpha becomes me is no matter what Gen Alpha says, Gen Z can read. So Gen Alpha ever gets mad at you, you can tell them, I'm gonna write you a strongly worded reply, and they'll never know.
Your outfit is so cute today. It's such a sleigh. You still say sleigh? You're a grandma. You're a grandma. Spell restaurant.
And because millennials felt they were
real spell restaurant. I can't even spell restaurant on my own without autocorrect. That's a fucking. I don't fucking know though. I don't fucking know where it's going there. That's how fucking autistic I am. I don't fucking know.
wrong. Sometimes they'll go in the opposite direction of gentle parenting as well and lash out at their kids, like this woman saw at the park.
And I hear this woman behind me just scream, "No one owes you anything." But this kid was not nearly as loud as that woman was. I didn't turn around because he was making a scene. I turned around because she was making a scene.
The truth is, both overly gentle parenting and parents who lash out at their kids like this woman did come from the same place of insecurity. Were these parents secure in their roles and as people, they wouldn't feel the need to compensate. They wouldn't feel the need to really try and make their kid like them by gentle parenting. And they wouldn't have an insecurity triggered by their kid lashing out. They would be able to look at the kid and say, hey, he's a kid, he's lashing out, here's what we have to do about it. But when a parent lashes out and loses control over their own equilibrium because of what their kid did, it bespeaks that the parent is threatened in some way by the kid acting out. They feel like they're a bad parent, or they feel like they're not authoritative enough, or they feel like something's wrong with them because they don't have a kid who's behaving. So they placate their impotence by screaming at the kid because that feels powerful.
Honestly, it's also a very shitty thing to do. Lashing out your own child, lashing out at a child at all. That is very shit. No, one, that's very shitty of you to do. Two, that makes you look even more childish than the actual kid itself. Literally, I classify the parents who lash out at their kids as adult children, literal adult children, or child adult. But yeah.
Healthy people make for healthy parents. And what's so sad is I see so many thoughtful people who comment on my videos saying, oh, now I'm never gonna have kids.
What are you talking about? You are the thoughtful audience.
You are the people concerned about how kids are being raised. You are watching these videos to know what to avoid. You are exactly the people who should have kids. It's the parents who aren't watching these videos, who don't know how corrosive an iPad is to a kid's soul, or who don't care about their kids enough to find out that shouldn't be having kids, at least like this. Maybe to avoid all this bad parenting around them, Gen Alpha has chosen aesthetic over everything. Like, they will rearrange their whole day to follow some new TikTok aesthetic. Okay, at least that one seems fun. Like, I try to acknowledge in these videos whenever Gen Alpha goes right, which can happen, might not be common. Like, Ray Charles could make a free throw. I don't think it would be very common. However, some people I feel like are not discerning at all and just make these blanket statements about Gen Alpha that sometimes are a little disturbing.
They all wear fucking shirts now. Every little kid at the beach wears a fucking sun protective shirt. It's like, let me see your pecs.
What the fuck?
What? My
brother in Christ. You need Jesus? You need a psychiatric evaluation? and you need to be put in a fucking psych ward. Holy shit. Hell no. Hell fucking no.
Christ, why are you trying to check out the little boy's pecs? What is that? Why is that important to you? And also, my hot take, by the way, is that people in general should be wearing more swim t-shirts. I hated, wearing a swim t-shirt growing up, but like sunburns age you so fast, and exposure to sun is literally the second most important factor in aging. Have you noticed so many people talk about how people look so much younger now?
Yeah, because I don't go out that often. I don't go out that often, or at all. Not often.
They did when our parents were growing up. One of the reasons is because we spend so much less time in the sun. We also wear sunscreen, and to some extent, it's because we wear swim shirts. I guess theoretically, avoiding too much sun exposure is one upside of Gen Alphas sitting inside on their iPads all day with this godforsaken Roblox laugh.
Oh my god.
I swear there's so many TikToks of Gen Alpha being so concerned about aging when they're like 9 that some Gen Alphas are gonna see this video and be like, oh my gosh, we gotta stay inside even more because that way we'll never age. Guys.
God damn, I think he inadvertently made that a reality.
That's not the point. By the way, not this kid just laughing at a picture of the troll face. Like, it's just
I mean, my guy, you kind of made it a point. You literally said, oh, we look younger because we avoided sunlight and pretty much like too much sun exposure is pretty much what the second cause of rapid aging. My guy, you kind of made it a point. What are you telling me why that's not the point?
JPEG of the troll face, that's what he's laughing profusely at. That's like me enjoying a basketball game, but the basketball game is just a JPEG of a used basketball. Bruh. But a huge controversy about Gen Alpha is continuing to erupt about what to do with the 2010-2011 kids. Some people are punting it all together and saying if you're born in 2010 or 2011, you're not Gen Z. You're not even Gen Alpha. You're Gen Zalpha.
I'm sitting here crying in a prom dress. I'd be the prom queen if crying was a contest.
To me, they lean more Gen Z, but they still have the insults of Gen Alpha. Because Gen Alpha's insults are shameless.
What about you being built like a bus driver? What about you being built like the bus?
Future historians are gonna...
No, I would be impressed by the insult. I was like, my guy, respect to you for the insult. Respect to you. I respect you. Here's the thing, a true friend not only takes an insult, but insults you back even harder. Pretty much your best friend insults you with a bigger insult.
And burn this era of history.
Alright, let's see. 2000s, 2010s, 2030? What the hell is 2020? No information? No, that can't be right.
Yo, say, have you ever heard of the 2020s? No, never heard anything about it. Honestly, I just thought it wasn't that useful a generation or something. That's why I never recorded it.
But still, you don't just erase an entire decade from our history. Like, there has to be some reason we don't have anything on it.
Wait, I do remember there was this one historian named Joey that apparently found out about the 2020s a while back, but apparently he went insane after finding it, and we never heard from him since.
What? Really? Then why have I never heard about him then? I mean, that's gotta be pretty important, finding an entire lost decade like that.
I don't know, maybe it's just one of those things the world's better off not knowing.
That just doesn't sound right. You don't just stay away from history like that.
I'm gonna go get some food. Yeah, did you hear about the execution down in the courtyard? You gotta fuck up big to get executed like that nowadays.
Execution? They still do that stuff?
Joey, you have committed research without proper authorization, and you have been sentenced to execution. Do you have any final words?
That's him! You're the one who found it, weren't you?
Okay, quiet down! You wanna know about that cursed decade, do ya?
The 2020s! You're the one who went out and found it, right? So tell us what happened!
Yes, I found it. And if you wanna see it, go find it for yourself. I left it out there for you to find. Go rewrite history! Do it now! The void
Do it now.
I don't blame that historian. That historian is totally justified. Like,
that historian is totally justified, indeed.
My kids would be less traumatized reading A Day in the Life of 𝙂𝙚 𝙂𝙚 than knowing what this hellscape of the 2020s pop culture is. This
exactly.
Era where kids are becoming makeup experts at age 4.
Today I'm going to show you how to look just like me. She blackmailed me. She doesn't even know what blackmailing means. Get a big glob. Are sure this is my color? The most important thing is to blend and blend.
Aww.
Now we're gonna use.
Aww, it's so cute. Also, every time Fame says I see, I know that that's his cue to leave.
The highlighter to get that subtle glow.
Hey, at least someone in Gen Alpha knows the word subtle.
Subtle foreshadowing.
Subtle.
Highlight the cheekbones, bridge of the nose.
This girl using an actual highlighter. It's almost as bad as this clip where this kid uses actual
Aw.
toothpaste.
Tarush, add 1 spoon.
Garlic paste. No. What? I'm proud Gen Alpha's. It's been ginger garlic paste.
Ginger garlic paste to it. Use your brain. Ginger garlic paste.
Give the face some strokes.
Oh my god. Here's the thing, pretty much what millennials did to Gen Alpha, they couldn't use their brain. They somehow millennials somehow lost their brain and said, if I'm gonna lose my mind, you're gonna lose your mind too, Gen Alpha. I think that's pretty much what fucking happened.
Now, we're gonna curl your eyelashes. And this, not right. Keeping this really natural. Yeah, right. So how's your mother-in-law? Scary. You don't supposed to eat it. I think you'll like it. Split.
Aww.
I'm gorgeous.
I am gorgeous.
Aww.
Thanos, his original take wasn't I am inevitable. He goes, I am gorgeous.
I am gorgeous.
Give us a big thumbs up.
These girls are cute, and it seems like toward the end this was more of a fun sleepover challenge than really trying to get their makeup perfect. But a lot of kids their age are like buying Sephora because they want to look good for their kindergarten class.
What happened?
But a lot of kids their age are like buying Sephora.
Oh, here's the 9-year-old daughter's friend Heroes. You said they're fine, what happened? I'm being tender to doing photosensitive is cool. And cute children. What the fuck?
Because they want to look good for their kindergarten classmates.
Yeah.
And even their simple pleasures are electronic. Like how many Alphites are obsessed with the 0.5 filter. And Gen Alphas don't care about things that matter, like literacy, but they care a lot about how low your socks are, I guess.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always.
They will ask you to give up the funds you made, you know, working late at your shift at the drugstore or on an oil rig so they can buy more Roblox socks.
Oh wow.
I have $20.
Gen Alpha is speaking pidgin English at this point, and non-Gen Alphas need to translate.
You know them? No. But in the club, we all fam. What? In the club, we all fam. In the club, we are all family. Are you racist?
Because don't forget, that's the point of brain rot. The point is to be a Gen Alpha shibboleth. In past generations, it was a side effect that other generations wouldn't understand what the kids are saying. For Gen Alpha, it's the point. The more absurd their brain rot is, the better. That's why so much of it is in Italian.
So, oh, that's clever. It's like they're speaking a whole different language that's shifting around every other day. Holy shit! It's not even worth trying to understand Gen Alpha. All right.
Cappuccino. Cappuccino Yasatino. Bebe Patapin.
Because Gen Alpha is trying to laugh at how Gen Z and Millennials and Gen X can't understand what they're talking about. They don't understand what they're talking about. Their language is a fiat language. It gives meaning because, like, they all laugh about it, not that it actually conveys some objective truth about the world. They feel like they're in the in-group, and they can point and laugh at everyone else who's in the out-group. And this is exacerbated when every other generation prostrates themselves before Gen Alpha and just begs to know what each new Italian brain rot slang term means. That tells Gen Alpha that what they're—
So yeah, I figured that brain rot is truly just brain rot. There's really no meaning to it, and it's not really meant to have any meaning. Makes sense. I think it's pretty much, this is way before Gen Alpha existed, but pretty much a random thing that I would do Someone, I think, someone does not do pretty much. Someone asked me, why do you do that? It doesn't make any sense. And I tell them, it's not supposed to make any sense. I guess there's an embodiment of Gen Alpha now. It's like, their entire vocabulary is not supposed to make any sense. And you're supposed to just take it at face value. So yeah.
What we're doing is really cool. Otherwise, every other generation wouldn't be clamoring to see what they're talking about. Look, all the Gen Alphas in these comment sections are saying, like, Gen Alphas don't even want to be Gen Alphas. They want to be part of, like, a literate generation. So what does it say when Gen X, Millennials, and Zoomers are trying to find out nothing more than what the Gen Alphas are talking about? It tells the Gen Alphas that you're the coolest and everyone wants to be like you.
This room's kitty. Like, it's kitty toilet. Get off your kiosk, stop mewing, and clean it up.
And the very worst thing anyone can say to Gen Alpha is that they're okay just the way they are. Because everyone who cares about Gen Alpha should want them to become what they were meant to be, which is not this. I'm gonna talk about this more on Patreon and Discord. Thanks to our patrons, Bob, Eric, Guy, Matt.
It's ironic to call Gen Alpha, and they're the furthest thing from being an alpha.
Rasmus.
Where did the name scheme for the for generations? They fucked up. They fucked up big time. All right. Think. All right.
In April of 2020.
Here we go. God damn it. Alright. What channel is it? Fine print. I think it's subscribe. Okay, so this is they lost it all of it by fine print, so I'm assuming that pretty much the US fucked up big time.
In April of 2020, a security researcher typed an IP address into his browser. No login, no password, no authentication of any kind. And there it was. 8.6 million records of
British
movements across Sheffield. Number
oh no, this is UK.
Camera images showing the drivers' faces, pedestrians caught in the frame, all of it just sitting there. Your data out there on the open internet, free for anyone to find, free for anyone to access. Sheffield Council had written a 32-page document about their automatic number plate recognition system. 32 pages, and the word privacy doesn't appear in it once. Hey, I'm Andy, this is the fine print, and I've been going through every major UK data breach that the UK government has been responsible for over the last 2 decades. Every lost disk, every unencrypted spreadsheet, every password that was just the username typed again. And I did this because the government has announced that every person in the country will need a digital ID, one that stores your face scan, your passport data, your biometric information, and they'd very much like you to trust them with it. So, you know, I did my due diligence. I thought I'd check their track record. And what I found was...
hell no.
Well, let me just show you. Let's start with the one that was supposed to change everything. November 2007, Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, you know, the people who collect your taxes, needed to send some data to the National Audit Office. The personal details of every family in the country claiming child benefit. Names, addresses, date of birth, national insurance numbers, bank details. 25 million people. That's nearly half the population. They put it onto 2 CDs. Unencrypted, protected by WinZip, you know, the free software that you can crack and download for free, through the internal mail. Like a birthday card, because if you've ever posted money through Royal Mail, you know the crisp £20 note probably isn't going to be there when it arrives. The disc never arrived. They never found them. And here's the detail that really gets me. HMRC was asked beforehand whether they could strip out the bank details before sending. They said no, because it would be too costly.
Too costly?
Cost when someone eventually checked £650. They risked your financial data and that of 25 million other people to save 650 quid.
I'm not surprised. This is the UK. I'm not surprised, but also the UK government caused their own national security risk. Holy shit, they are stupid and a half. This is beyond stupid. This is genuinely aggravating. Like, what do you mean? You fucking lost my UK's equivalent of social security number. What do you mean if all of our data is fucking exposed now? For pretty much a criminal's identity theft heaven. Holy shit, UK. Can you be any dumber?
The journalist Jeremy Clarkson responded by publishing his own bank details in a newspaper column to prove the whole thing was overblown. Within days, someone set up a fraudulent direct debit for £500 against his account to a diabetes charity, which is, I have to say, a genuinely inspired choice by whoever did that. But that was back in 2007. That was supposed to be the wake-up call, the moment the government got serious about data security. So naturally, everything got much, much worse. But before we get to quite how much worse, and trust me, we are nowhere near the bottom yet, I wanted to talk about something that connects all of this to your actual daily life. Because data breaches sound abstract until you realize where the data ends up. In September 2021, a Ministry of Defense official needed to send an email to Afghan interpreters who risked their lives working with the British forces. People hiding from the Taliban. People whose safety depended entirely on the government keeping their identities secret. The official used CC instead of BCC. Oh my god, how are these boomers in charge of anything? 265 names. Visible to every recipient, including their profile pictures.
Oh my god.
ICO fined the Ministry of Defense £350,000, which sounds like accountability until you remember that's your money. The government fined itself and paid, yet again finding another 500 IQ way to waste your money. 5 months later, it happened again, only this time somehow it's even worse. A spreadsheet containing the personal information of 18,740.
Remember, kids, if the government has to pay out someone for their own fucking incompetence, that is actually taxpayer money that's being paid out. That is your money. You're paying for the government's mistakes.
Afghan asylum applicants, including names of special forces personnel and intelligence officers, so spies.
Neck crack. That was a neck crack. I promise that was a neck crack.
Accidentally emailed outside the government system. The emergency resettlement program triggered by that single email cost approximately £850 million. That is roughly £13 per person in the UK because some boomer in a position of power doesn't understand how the computer box thingy works.
Oh no.
And is somehow in charge of spy information. What the hell is going wrong here? You paid 13 quid because someone in the MOD didn't check an attachment. God forbid if they get an email from a Nigerian prince.
God forbid that.
The Nigerian royal family, Uncle Atumbe.
What? You know what, Toby? When the son of the deposed king of Nigeria emails you directly asking for help, you help. His father ran the freaking country, okay?
The ICO looked at this one and decided not to fine them. Their reasoning, well, they didn't want to burden the taxpayer. I just need you to try and hold these two things in your head at the same time. The government endangered thousands of lives through an error so basic it would get you fired from any office job in the country. And the regulator decided the appropriate punishment was nothing. Because making the government pay a fine would be making you pay a fine on top of all the money they've already wasted.
You know, I think the best way to punish the government is a mass exodus. Like, literally, going for dual citizenship first, waiting a few years, and then moving to that country. And then once you move to that country, denounce your previous citizenship, denounce your UK citizenship, and say, and pretty much that's a fuck you to them. Yeah. Red beer. Oh, there's no, yep, beer. Anywho, yeah.
Which means there is functionally zero consequences at all. That's not a one-off. That is a system working exactly as it was designed. And we will come back to that, the accountability question, because it gets significantly worse. But first, I want to talk about the breach that should have been a
noise,
national
bikers
scandal and yet somehow
racing down the
wasn't.
street.
August 2023, the police service in Northern Ireland received a Freedom of Information request. Routine stuff. How many officers do you have at each rank? So someone compiled the response in a spreadsheet, and in a hidden tab in that spreadsheet, one they forgot to delete were the surnames, first initials, ranks, departments, and location of every single officer and staff member. All 9,483 of them.
What the fuck?
In Northern Ireland. The data reached dissident Republican groups within days. Officers were forced to move house. Some left the country. The chief constable resigned. Compensation is expected to exceed £119 million, roughly £450
Jesus
per
Christ.
household in Northern Ireland, for a hidden tab on a spreadsheet. Around the same time, the Electoral Commission discovered that hackers had been sitting inside their systems for 14 months. 14 months!
Jesus.
Accessing data on 40 million voters.
Over a year. Holy shit. Oh my god. I would never step into the UK. And if they if the US somehow tries to if the Trump administration, okay, I don't really like going to politics, but why does my brain, oh my god, my brain instantly went to politics because that's how political fucking US is. Holy shit. Anywho, if I somehow end up in the UK by very cold, very sub-zero cold means, I would pretty much escape the UK. I really hope that doesn't even. But holy shit, the UK government. This isn't just gross negligence. Literally, these boomers in the UK government, let alone any government for that matter, they're all a national security risk to their own fucking countries. Get the boomers out of fucking office. We need millennials in the office. We need Gen Z in the office. These boomers? No. Hell no. They're risking our lives for this? Hell fucking no. Hell no.
The attackers had exploited vulnerabilities in Microsoft Exchange, vulnerabilities for which patches had been available for months. Staff were still using the passwords they'd been assigned when they joined. The Commission had failed its own Cyber Essentials test that same year. The ICO's response? Formal reprimand. You've been a naughty, naughty boy. No fine, nothing. So 40 million voters' data compromised because no one installed updates that had been available for months, and the punishment is a stern telling off.
Jesus
One
Christ.
imagines there were some very awkward silences in that meeting at least. And the government doesn't stop at just losing your data. No. It pays companies, private companies, billions of pounds to lose it on their behalf. Yet again, finding another 600 IQ way of wasting more of your money. In March 2023, Capita, the UK's largest outsourcing company, was hit by ransomware. Their security system flagged the intrusion within 10 minutes. Their target response time was 1 hour. They took 58 hours, 2.5 days to quarantine a single compromised device.
Jesus Christ.
Terabyte of data stolen. That's 6.6 million people across 325 pension schemes affected. The ICO investigation found that a single admin account had unrestricted access to the entire network. 3 separate penetration tests had identified this exact vulnerability before. Capita just never bothered to fix it. The ICO finds them for...
Here's the thing. Companies will do the bare minimum, if not below the minimum, as long as they don't get caught. And then when they get hacked, oh shit, shit hits the fan. Pretty much, they're literally the surprise Pikachu face when they find out that there's actual consequences to their action, to their inaction, really.
£14 million, reduced from 45 million. Weeks later, Capita was found to have left benefits data in a publicly accessible cloud storage bucket. No password, no encryption, just sitting there, like Sheffield's ANPR cameras all over again. And then, and I genuinely need you to be sitting down for this one, the government awarded Capita a new £606 million contract for the DWP, Home Office, Ministry of Justice
Jesus
and
Christ.
The chair of the Public Accounts Committee called it extraordinary. I mean, I personally would have used a different word for that one. And they're not alone. Fujitsu...
I would use a very different word for that one. The exact opposite, extraordinary. Actually, they're extraordinarily stupid.
Still runs the police national computers, and that's the database that tells officers whether someone's wanted or dangerous while simultaneously being investigated by the Metropolitan Police for the Post Office Horizon scandal, in which their defective software led to the wrongful conviction of over 900 people. Since 2012, the government has awarded Fujitsu nearly 200 contracts worth £6.8 billion. After announcing a voluntary bidding pause, internal documents showed staff were given flow diagrams on how to keep bidding anyway. The system doesn't punish failure, it's somehow promoting it. It's not just Whitehall. Local councils have been getting hammered and they've got a fraction of the resources to recover. Hackney Council, October 2020, the Paisa ransomware gang got in through a dormant account where the username and password were identical. Not similar, identical. 440,000 files encrypted, records containing residents' race, religion, sexual orientation, health conditions, and criminal history.
Sadly, you're distracted. What do you mean I'm distracted? So you know you can claim your badge watching it for an hour.
Traded and published on
for quote-unquote watching it for an hour. Well, you just mute your tab.
The dark web. Housing benefits stopped. Staff were working with pen and paper for over a year. The cost was north of £50 million. The ICO's response? Naughty, naughty boys! Just another reprimand. Leicester City Council, March 2024. 3 terabytes of data stolen. Passport scans, driving licenses, bank statements for up to 400,000 residents. And because the hackers compromised the central management system, the city's street lights were left on 24 hours a day for weeks. Which is either a security failure or the most expensive nightlight in British history. Oh, then there's Transport for London. September 2024, initially described as affecting some customer data. A BBC investigation in early 26 revealed the truth. Approximately 10 million people had their data stolen. 10 million.
It just gets... Honestly, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse for as long as this video goes on. Holy shit. Holy shit. It somehow, when you think, how could this get any worse? It somehow gets so much worse in the most unexpected way possible.
All 30,000 TFO employees had to attend in-person appointments just to reset their passwords. Cost £39 million. The ICO cleared TFL of wrongdoing. 2 teenagers were arrested. I'll say that again. 10 million records. 2 teenagers. And the regulator said everything was fine? I don't know, maybe put the bloody teenagers in charge at this point. They can't do it any worse. And here's the important bit. That is your government's track record with data it already has. And now let's talk about the new data it is forcing you to hand over. The Online Safety Act is requiring platforms to implement highly effective age assurance. In practice, that means you, an adult, have to submit your passport, your driving license, or a scan of your face to a private computer before you can access legal content online. The government mandated this. It did not mandate that these companies meet any particular security or privacy standards. There is no public register of approved providers. There is no mandatory privacy framework. The Act itself requires age verification to be technically accurate, robust, reliable, and fair. It does not use the word secure or private. You can probably guess what happened next. 𝙂𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙖, an Israeli verification company used by TikTok, X, Uber, PayPal, and LinkedIn, had its admin credentials stolen by malware in December 2022. Those credentials were posted publicly on Telegram in March 2023, and they were still working when journalists finally discovered them in June 2024.
Oh, hell no.
18 months, a year and a half of open access to identity documents, and the company initially tried to pretend the credentials had been revoked. They had not. In February 2026, another verification company called Persona, used by Reddit and OpenAI, was found to have an exposed front end, revealing that it runs 269 separate verification checks, screens against watch lists, assigns risk scores, and retains your government ID numbers, facial analytics, and device
Jesus
fingerprints
Christ.
for up to 3 years. Discord dropped them immediately, and in November 2025, a company called id-Merit was discovered to have left a database containing over 1 billion identity records, names, addresses, dates of birth, national ID numbers from 26 countries, completely unprotected. No passwords.
Jesus Christ.
Is this starting to sound familiar yet? The government forced you to hand your most sensitive documents to these companies. Within months, that data was leaked. The Electronic Frontier Foundation put it plainly. Age verification is fundamentally incompatible with privacy. The threat is not hypothetical. It is happening right now because the government mandated it into existence. Which brings us to gov.uk 1. The government's digital identity system. 13 million users and counting. It stores your facial recognition data, your passport scans, your driving license. It is the replacement for gov.uk Verify, which was scrapped after burning through £175 million and achieving a 48% success rate against a 90% target. The Public Accounts Committee called it a textbook case of over-optimism. One login was supposed to be the one that worked. Then a cybersecurity whistleblower inside the government digital service identified over 500,000 vulnerabilities in the system. More than 10,000 were classified as critical. The whistleblower escalated their concerns to an MP. The National Cybersecurity Centre found what it called severe shortcomings, including risks to bulk data breach and mass fraud through impersonation. A red team exercise found that attackers could introduce malware without triggering any sort of monitoring or alerts.
Jesus
As
Christ.
of late 2024, the system met just 21 of 39 required cybersecurity standards. Development work had been offshored to Romania without the approval of the GDS chief executive or the NCSC. The original budget was £305 million. It's now past £329 million and is climbing, with the delivery date pushed back 3 years to 2028. The broader digital ID scheme, including something called the Wildcard and a gov.uk wallet, has been estimated to cost £1.8 billion. So let me get this straight. They have lost 25 million records on a pair of CDs. They emailed the identities of Afghan interpreters and spies to the Taliban by pressing the wrong button. They left the police service of Northern Ireland's entire workforce visible in a spreadsheet tab. They awarded £600 million to a company that took 2.5 days to notice it was being robbed. Their regulator fines government bodies roughly 5 pence on the pound. They forced you to hand your passport to companies that left their databases wide open. Their own whistleblower found 500,000 vulnerabilities in the system and got threatened for saying so. And now they want your face.
Ooh. The UK government is pretty much a bunch of how do I say this? A bunch of whining snowflake crybabies. Because as soon as they get called out, as soon as the UK government gets called out for anything, they pretty much threaten their own citizens with use intimidation. Pretty much they use intimidation tactics on their own citizens. Holy shit.
Unlike a password, you can't change your biometric data after a breach. You get one face, one set of fingerprints. When, not if, this data is compromised, there is no reset button. 63% of the British public say it does not trust the government to keep its data safe. That's not paranoia, that's pattern recognition. A parliamentary petition to block digital ID cards gathered nearly 3 million signatures. The government's response was to announce the gov.uk wallet anyway. Big Brother Watch called it the nightmare database state in mobile digital form. An independent cybersecurity expert warned that a centralized biometric database of 50 million records would be a honeypot for criminals. The question was never whether digital identity could work, in theory. I mean, Estonia's had one for 20 years. The question is whether this government, with this track record, these contractors, this accountability framework, and this approach to anyone who raises concerns, has earned the right to ask for your trust. I think you already know the answer to that one.
They have not. Nope.
The reason the government keeps getting away with this, the lost discs, the unpatched systems, the contractors who fell upwards, is because most people don't know it's happening. These stories get a day in the news cycle and then disappear. The government is counting on that. They're counting on you not knowing the full picture because the full picture is so damning. So if this video told you something that you didn't know, share it.
Most likely this video was blocked in the UK. This video was likely blocked in the UK. And I hope to God someone download the video and upload it to the Internet Archive for the UK citizen to see. Holy shit. I don't even know what to say anymore. This is a blatant disregard for their own citizens' safety. I don't even know what to fucking say anymore. I'm even upset on behalf of the UK citizens. Holy shit. Holy shit. Anywho. But yeah. Let's see here. AI is breaking legacy systems. Ooh. Here. Oh, he'll choose brutes. Anywho. Alright. Alright, we've been lied to our whole lives by Penguin Zero. I really wonder what this is about.
Wow. The world looks so different today. The colors don't even seem the same. It feels like this morning I woke up in an alternate dimension. One separate from the dimension I inhabited yesterday. The new research that was published changed everything. We've been lied to our whole lives. And I know you've probably already seen it. I imagine some of you took the day off of work just to process it. They found the male G-spot.
He was a good girl.
I didn't even know.
Oh, what the fuck? I didn't expect that. Oh my god. I mean, like, I'm not surprised. I am actually not surprised because, one, in terms of evolution, you should have expected this. If women have a G-spot, I'm for sure as hell guys also have one. Red, you're such a good girl. You're such a good girl. Meow.
It was lost, like the city of Atlantis. I thought we had already pinpointed that sucker down eons ago. I remember for as long as I've had holes, I was told that the G-spot was buried deep in my ass, and that's where it stayed. But apparently, that was all a lie. That was a guess. That wasn't ever fully confirmed, and now they published new research saying definitively we have found the male G-spot, and it's not in that cavernous hole. You see the new male G-spot meta? I did. It's out of reach though. My loadout isn't equipped for the new meta for G-spot.
For the new meta.
It's apparently a place on your foreskin, not in your butthole. Male G-spot revealed, and if you guessed it's in the butt, you're wrong.
I mean, like,
Intensely pleasurable. Also, no one's guessing it's in the butt. That's what we were told for years. It was supposedly confirmed to be in the asshole. Not like people just randomly made that up. But now new evidence, I guess.
This is what scientists are researching, by the way.
Throws that theory in the trash. After years of searching, I like that. I guess the fountain of youth. After years of searching, scientists in Spain have finally found the male G-spot, discovering this so-called erogenous zone is far from where they suspected. They detailed their findings in a stimulating study published in the journal Andology. Where's the so-called on switch, defined by its capacity to induce intense orgasms upon stimulation, in an obscure region called the frenular delta, a triangular zone located on the underside of the penis where the head meets the shaft, an area so mysterious it has long been omitted from sexual health textbooks.
Oh, I mean, like, chat. Chat, hear me out. If you're gonna be in my head all day, why don't you give me some? Okay, that's a meme I found on TikTok. Last night. That's a meme I found on TikTok last night. Anywho, I mean, like, If that wasn't the case, then why would guys ever prefer head? If that was the case.
Oh my god, they discovered a new area of my cock? I didn't know that. I thought it was just like a foreskin spot. Years of searching, it's not like they're going to the Amazon rainforest. Just touch your dick or ass, bro. That's very true.
That's true. That's true.
It's not like it was some kind of crazy expeditious journey to find it. Like you can study the shit out of your wiener and butt. According to this study conducted by scientists at the University of Santiago de Compostela in Spain, this region is richly innervated by partially overlapping perennial related to the region connecting genitals and anus, and dorsal, aft-facing nerve branches with heightened concentrations of nerve bundles and pleasure receptors. In layman's person terms, the frenular delta makes for intensely pleasurable and highly specialized sensations, according to the paper. By finding this penile pleasure panel, scientists have closed the book on a region that has eluded scientists for years, like sexplorers finding a phallic northwest passage. For decades, scientists have seen the prostate as the trigger for male orgasms, but had neglected to identify it on the proverbial pleasure map until now.
I'm just...
That's
wow.
good news. We're finally here. We've arrived. The apex of society. It kept hiding from us. Sex 2 is finally upon us. That's right. That's right.
Holy shit.
You can kick and you can scream, but it'll come all the same. We have discovered the male G-spot. And it's right where I said it was from the very beginning. I've been saying for years that the dark side of the moon on the penis it's highly unexplored. No one ever checks underneath.
And Darth Gator, I'll teach you how to use the backside of the dude.
Do we flick it or something? You do
Flick
whatever
it.
you want with it. You slap it, you fucking fart on it. I don't know, man. But I think you need to have your foreskin for it. Can I sue the doctor that took my G-spot? I know. A question on everyone's mind now after this stunning revelation.
That's the best bottom surgery joke I could use. Like, hey, can I see the doctor who took my G-spot? Holy shit! Other than that, either my dick fell off or can I see the doctor for her to take my G-spot? Holy shit, that's funny.
The G-spot Krampus that stole all our foreskin, hogging the G-spots to himself. It's a game changer, not gonna lie, feels so good. Okay, I can only speak as a circumcised man, but I feel like there's no way uncircumcised dudes didn't know that. Right? Like, I feel like
there's no...
just through trial and error and experimenting, you would have found that, oh, this spot feels cool. Wow, this feels so good over here.
I mean, that's gotta be a real moment. There's gotta be a real moment there. Not gonna lie, that's gotta be a real moment. Holy shit.
Right? Like, there's no way someone who's uncircumcised read this and they're like, holy fuck, I never thought to touch under my wiener. I'm only ever on top doing this, like a DJ.
Yo, the fucking image when someone doing that. The fucking image of someone doing that. Oh god. Okay. Okay, again, composure.
Like, I feel like this isn't new information for, like, the majority of people. It's just now it's being officially labeled as the male G-spot. That guy's the only
You could call it the male spot.
hooded homie left alive. Yeah, we have to preserve him. Put him in a bubble. We must study him. Ask him questions. The only man with a hot dog and a bun still around.
Yeah,
So
dude.
does that mean the spot in your ass was just LARPing as the G-spot? I feel like it must have been like maybe a placebo thing or something. I
LARPing.
don't know. I never tried getting up in there and seeing what that felt like.
Okay, not gonna lie. also, I can confirm from experience, there is some sort of G-spot there.
But I feel like just because of all of the propaganda, like all of the articles written about it, a lot of people probably convinced themselves that this is euphoria, this is the good stuff. Meanwhile, they're just fiddling around in their butt. It doesn't do anything. The other channel video, which one of the boys can find their G-spot first, doing everything behind a curtain so you can only see the shadows. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. I'll write it down. I'll put it in the notes. So you're saying I've been sticking my finger up my ass for nothing. I wouldn't say nothing. You're becoming more familiar with your body. Knowledge
Exactly.
is power.
Hold on, okay. I think if I can pop the pimple. Oh shit, I just popped the pimple. I gotta get a band-aid. I legit gotta get a band-aid. I popped the fucking pimple. There we go. That make sure it's not so close to my eye. But yeah. Honestly, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
All that. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it was moot. Right, you probably got some experience out of it. Mapping it like you're splunking. Exactly. Exactly right. He gets it. I once stuck my finger in my anus to get the poop out, but it felt kind of good. What's your plan, man? How would you get the poop out by sticking a finger up there? All you're doing is just plugging it further up.
Exactly. That's a funny way to find out about it.
What the hell? What? How is that? What kind of strategy is that?
Kind of strange.
It's not like a lawnmower with like a ripcord or anything. Like all you're doing is just poking it. Fish hooking, I guess. Oh, I guess. Yeah, you could be fish hooking.
Fish hook. Oh
Turning
no.
my asshole into an arcade claw game. Nurses do it for chronic constipation. Well, I don't think they just. Well, I don't know. Maybe they do. I was gonna say I don't think they just go like one finger up and just start jamming it up there or something like Naruto 10,000 Years of Pain. Like, I imagine there's probably a methodology to it.
Oh my god.
Just...
I want to say fun fact about. I'm not sure if anyone knows about this Filipinos, but pretty much we're known for, I think, one of the health issues that plagues us plagues the entire population, I noticed, is that we have issues with doing number 2, pretty much. Either one, it takes so much effort it hurts, or 2, we're just in the bathroom until our body needs to actually be able to do number 2.
Slap the cheeks around, probably. Can you imagine if that was the actual, like, medicinal strategy? I see you've got some impacted feces here. All right, bend over. Just all, like, bongos on their ass. It's shockwave treatment. They do it for kidney stones. You don't need foreskin, it's above the foreskin. I don't know if this article covers it, but I was reading that in order to, like, actually optimize male G-spot, you need foreskin.
Ew.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Maybe I've been lied to. Maybe they're still trying to keep it under wraps.
Maybe.
Doesn't say here. Let me just Google it.
Oh, thank you. And also, this is probably the most 18+ reaction video that I ever had, because I didn't expect this to be the fucking news.
Let's see. Male G-spot foreskin required or not? Let's see. It seems like it's too new. People still talking about the back door. Yeah, I don't see any information on whether or not it's required or not. From what I saw earlier, it is. Maybe it's not. Who's really to say? We're still on the cusp of this discovery.
Yeah.
This is like electricity. This is big. We still don't quite understand all of the inner workings of it. We're working it out.
Fair, absolutely fair. I know, I think we made enough YouTube reactions and we can just watch for fun. Yeah.
I saw a video today. Of a fedora tipping gentle sir freaking out, going ballistic, and I thought for sure it was just a skit. It was a staged video. It was fake for the sake of like rage baiting and engagement farming.
Fair.
But now I've seen that same video being picked up by actual journalists, like actual outlets. So maybe it's real. I just find it hard to believe that this is legitimate because everything about it is too perfect. This guy is wearing a Demon Slayer shirt with a pseudo trench coat and calling himself the name of a fictional character who is known for being in a trench coat, and he just actually looks like the quintessential Discord moderator.
Hello?
Hi there, can you open this door, please?
For what?
I just want to make sure that everything's okay. There seems to be something going on.
What do you mean?
I don't know, I just figured I'd check on something.
This saint was just in the neighborhood making sure that there was no ne'er-do-wells up to no good. He has just finished his training with the katana. He often studies the blade, and he thought he would just kindly pay you a visit just to make sure everything's all right over there. He is a master of cringe breathing, and this guy is a force to be reckoned with, so if there was any trouble, he could just slay them on the spot.
What the fuck?
This fucking guy is like a mystical cryptid. He's like Santa Claus, but for Redditors. How Santa Claus knows who's been naughty or nice, this guy knows who's got too low of karma, and he pays them a visit, but instead of wiggling his big ass down their chimney, he just knocks on their front door and then blows a fucking gasket.
I don't know what you want, man. Get out of my house.
Open this fucking door! Where's your daughter, man? Where's your daughter, man?
What are you talking about?
Where's your daughter? Who's in there with you?
Bro.
I can't believe the door didn't just explode. He should have deatomized that bitch. This is a very strong advertiser for that door. It must be like an adamantium core in there because I don't know how it withstood the power of this man's kicks. Granted, he was nerfed. He was wearing flip-flops, so he couldn't really get the oomph, the elbow grease that he usually would get there, but this is a superhuman we're dealing with. It was so powerful it almost sent him tumbling backwards. He had to regain his balance.
Oh my God.
You know, falling back down the stairs there. It was a devastating blow right there. That shit would make Omni-Man tremble. And then he starts asking where his daughter is. Perfectly normal question to be asking.
Perfectly normal question.
Stranger.
Perfectly normal.
Maybe he'd been talking to some kids on Roblox or something, and now he's trying to track them down. I have no idea, but it immediately gets unhinged.
Bro, if you don't
open
leave,
this fucking door. Open this door. I'm breaking it fucking down. You understand me?
leave my house. You don't.
Are you okay? Is everyone in this house okay?
What?
I would immediately call the police. I wouldn't even, if a random person came up uninvited, I will immediately call the police. I'm not stalling for time. I would actually technically stall for time, but I would call the police.
Everyone's okay. What do you want?
His Sharingan right now. It's about to get serious. They're in a standoff right now, and he is subtly powering up because it's looking like it's gonna be a scrap. And trust me, I know a warrior when I see one. This guy fucks. Like, this is not someone you want to be taking lightly here. His
Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Scary. Aura so powerful.
Jesus
I was scrolling
Christ.
through the computer screen, and it wasn't even my Ring doorbell.
I felt genuinely scared. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. People are crazy. People are fucking crazy.
Seeing the way he monk palm strikes it, the way he's grabbing at it, like, oh man. I don't know the aftermath here. I don't know if the homeowner called the police, but if he did, I don't know if the police are strong enough to stop this man on a rampage. That probably was just more.
Probably gonna have to manhandle him and pretty much tase him a couple of times. But yeah.
More bodies left in his warpath. It's terrifying. Having the virgin Viltrumite come up to this guy's door and start asking where his daughter is and whatever. It's what a wild set of circumstances here, and what an interesting freak out.
This is wild.
Like I said, I still am not convinced this is real. Everything about it is too perfect to showcase a loser, like a pathetic, unhinged loser. And like, I feel like this guy had to be in on it for the sake of engagement farming. Like, I feel like he was typecast to play this character in this video. I don't know. I still just have a hard time buying into the authenticity of this. But who knows? Maybe it is completely real. Either way, wanted to yap about it. That's about it. So, yeah.
Even then, okay, there's an angry German kid who's actually like played it up and stuff like that. It's good acting. If this is fake, really good acting. But I'm genuinely scared. If it's real, you need to call the cops.
Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. Today's video, I have been very busy this week because I did just get back from the Europe tour for Minhyuk for how to And so
fair.
I had to like catch up on a bunch of stuff and get my brain back into the zone. And I have been working on bigger projects this week and didn't have as much time to do my normal standard video planning. And so what I have done today is I gave Kat the task of finding me something to talk about and sending me some things to react to. And so I have not actually looked at what I am about to talk about. I like briefly did sort of know what the vibe was. And what I can gather is this is gonna be a nightmare because this is a family, which, you know, we love talking about, and it is a family of 20 children. I thought that the video I made about the family with 12 children, I thought that that was too many and enough, and like it couldn't get any worse. These people have 20.
Girl, girl. If you don't know that there is actually a family in China, the mom is obsessed with being pregnant, and she has 69 children and counting. 69! Nice, but still.
Kids. Although I haven't watched the videos yet, I am sure there is going to be a lot to say. And if you like this video and want to see more like it, please do not forget to leave a like and hit subscribe. I am so incredibly close to 500k right now. Hopefully by the time we're watching this, I actually will have hit it. But still, I would really appreciate if you subscribe. As I said, this week I've been working on a lot of bigger projects. I have some videos that I'm really proud of, that I'm really excited to share with you, but I do not have a ton of time to work on them because I've had to maintain this very rigorous upload schedule. So if you subscribe, it really does help me out. It is the best way to support the channel. The algorithm loves when people hit the subscribe button on a video. So please do that if you aren't already. I really do appreciate it because I would love to put out these big projects that I have.
Also, I really don't feel like, yes, it's asking to hit the subscribe button, like, stuff like that, fine. But I really feel like it's not really necessary. You just need to actually make good content. If you make good content, they'll subscribe.
Been working on. Yeah, so
like when the first time I saw her, I liked her vibe, so I subscribed. She didn't even have to say anything. I just subscribed.
Thank you a ton. I appreciate it. Also, if you are already subscribed, feel free to leave a like, comment below. I sometimes scroll through and have a little look at some of your thoughts. So
yeah, fair.
Thoughts on this one. Now let's have a watch and react together. I'm kind of scared. I don't usually react to things for the first time on camera. I usually am quite prepared ahead of time. So let's see how this goes and how I react to everything we're about to watch together. So
ooh,
this is
interesting.
having 19 kids, and he's begging, please, no more kids, and she's like, I think we should have 20. I don't think this is funny. I don't think it's really very funny because I feel like, you know, it kind of goes in the way of like a no always wins in situations like this. If like someone doesn't want kids, the solution is to not have kids. If someone doesn't want more kids, the answer is to not have more kids because that affects the dynamic that already exists, right? Like adding another one changes something. Not adding another one doesn't. So the no wins, right? Like I don't think it's very funny to be like, please, no more kids, and she's like, we're having another kid. I just don't think it's very funny. I just don't think it's very funny. And I really, really, truly do not think that you should have 20 children. You can't split your attention like that. It's just unsustainable.
Yeah.
And there is no way you are parenting all of these kids. And what, you're gonna pop out another baby and then what? What happens to all the other kids that you have? You cannot divide your attention between 20 kids. I think it would be hard enough as a parent to have like 3. Like 3 kids feels like that would be a lot. You have to give your attention to each child. I honestly, do you even know all their names? Do you even know the names of all your kids? Do you know their interests? Like, I just don't think you can know your kids on a personal level if you have this many children. I just don't think that's a possibility. Once you get to this point, they're not people anymore. They're just like things
I like her lollipop earrings.
that she's like popping out of herself. Not how I view them. Definitely how she views them, though, right? Like you don't view, that's a classroom. She's not viewing them all as like individual people. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. Finally found something my wife can't do better than I can, and it is him waking up at 7:45, brushing his teeth at 7:46, and then leaving the house at 7:47. And firstly, sir, you did not brush your teeth properly. You were meant to brush your teeth for 2 minutes. And if you brushed your teeth and then got down to the car to pull away in under a minute, why did you even bother? Like, you didn't do shit. Your teeth are not clean. That aside, yeah, I think the reason maybe your wife can't do that is because she's looking after 20 kids. If at 7:45 in the morning, you're fucking leaving the house, fuck you, bro. Like, you're just leaving your wife to do all the morning stuff with your 20.
I'm betting that the older kids are being forced to look after their siblings. I believe the older siblings are being forced to be the co-parents for their younger siblings. Holy shit.
Children, and like then being like, she could never do this. She's kind of got her hands full. She's a little bit busy right now. I don't actually think it's her fault. Well, I mean, I guess she wanted 20 kids, so it's like kind of her fault in that regard. But like, it's not for the fault of not being able to get ready quickly. It's the fact that like she literally can't because there are 20 kids that you really should be helping with. This is when the kids hear you talking about maybe having one more.
No, never. Y'all will never do that again.
Making that into a joke is just not funny to me. Like, I don't know why so many of these people think that it's funny to laugh at their kids' struggles, but it's really not. It's really not funny to do that. Being like, my kids really don't want another sibling. They really don't want another child in the house. They are like begging us not to because they're like, it's enough, it's too many, it's already hard on us. And then being like, but we want to. So what our kids want doesn't actually matter. I want another baby. So like,
She only thinking about herself. If she thinking about herself like that, she's an adult child. She herself is an adult child.
like, what they want is irrelevant to me. Yeah, it's irrelevant to you because you don't fucking look after your kids. You have a baby and then you have a team of babysitters to look after them. It literally, like, as I said, once you get to this many kids, it like doesn't even make that much of a difference to her anymore because she just can pass the baby over to the other kids whom, you know, if you've got 20, presuming like maybe there are some twins or something in there, like the oldest, like they've got to be at least like 20, surely, right? Like they've got the age range from all the way from like 20 down to like baby, maybe like 18 at the youngest for the older one. I don't know the ages of the in-betweens and how many twins or whatever there were. But there are people there who are like old enough to care for babies. And I'm sure they were given that responsibility well before they were equipped to do that, probably when they were like 8, to be honest. Let's be real, especially the eldest daughter. She can carry on just popping out babies because she's like, I have a team of babysitters.
I mean, as a kid, I think it was like 10, or was it 12, 13? I think as young as 10 years old, I was tasked with taking care of my younger sister. Pretty much, I think when my sister is like at least 2 years old, and my dad had to take a nap to pretty much my stepmom had to take a nap because she works the night shift, and that also and dad's like cooking dinner and stuff like that. And I was tasked with taking care of a younger sister. I think she was 3 or 4 years old. I was more tasked to be like the babysitter for my younger sister, while like both my dad and stepmom were taking their day nap. I was like, all right, Let's watching YouTube. If you're hungry, I can make you some lunch. I think the only lunch I was able to make was a bologna sandwich, sometimes with cheese. Yeah.
I don't have to look after all these ones because they look after each other. And then if the baby is too much for me, I can just hand it over, right? Like, there are parents that I've seen when I talk about this sort of stuff who are kind of like, the trick to parenting is to have 5 kids or more, because then they look after each other and you don't have to do anything. You just stand back and watch them. Then why are you a fucking parent? I don't understand. I don't understand why these people have kids in the first place. I think these people are probably religious and they're like, it's God's will. That's why I have so many kids. I don't use contraception. And so I just keep popping out kids. And it's like, that's fucked up and unfair. It's sad that that's like the motivator for parenthood, I feel, right? To like not even really enjoy being a parent, but just to like view it as a duty of like, I popped out a baby. Job done. Wiping my hands of them. Maybe one day they'll come and look after me in the future. They've got to live up to.
That's literally the logic of my actual birther. That was the logic of her, and she explicitly say, you are gonna look after. Like, she literally saying word for word, you are gonna look after me when I get old. I'm like, sure. Like right now, there's no chance I'll be looking after her.
The expectations that I set, they're gonna come look after me when I'm older. They can look after each other now. It's just not, you shouldn't be a parent. You shouldn't be a parent. If you're gonna have 20 kids, you shouldn't have any, I think. I think if you have 20 kids, you became a parent for the wrong reason and you're like not even a parent anymore. Like, you've just made yourself into a baby machine. You are more than a baby machine. Why are you making
You made yourself into an incubator.
Yourself into one. Like, you have other purposes, right? You can have a life outside of just being pregnant and giving birth. Jesus Christ.
When your parents are petty.
What the fuck?
And dropped a whole.
He was mad.
This was their father going around and pouring water on the faces of some of their kids to wake them up for the fact that they don't let them sleep in on weekends. And I'm pissed the fuck off.
Literally, my parents would not let me sleep on the weekend. We had to be up by 9 a.m. By 0900. We had to be up by 0900. If not 0800 or 0700 if we had to go somewhere early. We would not be allowed to sleep in, and we were on the weekends. We were not allowed to sleep in, and we were not allowed to sleep early. So we were losing sleep. They were intentionally sleep depriving us on the weekend. So yeah.
Off because he did this to 3 kids, and they were the older ones. I'm assuming these are the 3 oldest kids because they all look like they're like older teenagers. And so this to me implies the fact that the responsibility of these teenagers is to wake up early on weekends and look after their younger siblings, because we all know young kids wake up early. That's just something that they do. That's why kids shows are on TV at like 5 a.m. Young kids wake up early. They go to bed early, they wake up early. That is something that comes with most young children. And that's gonna happen on the weekends as well. So then to like blame your older children for waking you up early on weekends and not your younger children, to me feels as though you're blaming them for not taking your responsibility as a parent. I mean, maybe you just don't want to pour water on the faces of your younger kids and you're like, they also won't let me sleep in, but I'm gonna take it that far and pour water on my younger kids' faces. I'm gonna pour it on my older kids' faces.
It's fucked up. It is fucked up.
If you signed up to be a parent, you signed up to be woken up early on the weekends, and your teenagers wouldn't be awake early on weekends, like, and waking you.
Here's the thing. Even if I woke up like when I was supposed to wake up on the weekends. Also, we had to do the church on Sunday, so like we had to wake up extra early there. But like, even if I woke up a little bit earlier than my parents expected, I was not allowed to make any noise at all. I was just not allowed to make any noise. So they expect me to wake up early and to go to bed late on the weekends. I don't fucking understand their fucking logic. None of literally fucking sleep depriving their own children. Oh shit, but yeah.
Up if they didn't have all these younger siblings. Like, they probably would also sleep in if they had the choice, but they are all in bedrooms with just bunk beds. They're all sharing rooms because of course they are. You can't sleep that many people in a normal house. So like, if they're awake early on the weekends, if they didn't have all these siblings, they'd probably very easily just entertain themselves. It's not their fault that you're being woken up early on weekend. I'm fucking pissed off. This is just such a fucked up thing to do. You're petty, so you're waking up your kids because they wake you up. You're a parent. Be a fucking parent.
People
Exactly.
always ask, how do you guys do it?
Let's go. We gotta go. It's not laundry time. I got inspections to do. You got paperwork to do. Licensing. Hello? Come on. Let's go.
I'll put this away real quick and then we'll go.
Hey, don't mind me. I got work to do. She has work to do. She can't leave the house until apparently all this is done. Should I cancel my appointments for the day?
2 hours later.
All that I accomplished, that's what I get.
They didn't answer the question. How
Dude.
how do you guys do it? They didn't really answer.
They
other
don't really
than,
answer.
I guess the fact that they're both going out with none of the kids, so presumably it means the kids are all at home looking after each other because they are a self-sufficient ecosystem, I suppose. They definitely don't
that's
think they
fucked
ever
up.
need to get like any sort of childcare or babysitter or anything because they're just gonna look after themselves, and they will. They shouldn't have to, but they absolutely will. I don't know what is going on here or what if that is what's happening, but it is the only thing I can assume. And also the fact that this man just stood there and said, like, waited for her to finish folding the laundry, like staring at her. Bro, why didn't you just sit down and help? It would have gone twice as fast. She was folding laundry. You can
Exactly.
do that, right? How do you do it? He doesn't. The answer is he just doesn't. He just gets his wife to do all of it. Bro, the laundry is right there in front of you. You want her to hurry up, pick up some freaking trousers and fold them yourself. Like, you are capable of putting away laundry, right? I'm sorry, your masculinity or whatever, but like, you can't complain about your wife taking a long time if you don't do anything to make that quicker.
I had a dream. It was like my setup with him. I mean, I was like, I don't care how many kids you have, I still want to have my big family.
I decided we already had a big family because, you know, I came in with 8 and she had 3, so that's 11 right there. Every morning, the middle school kids, I drive them to the school, and then I come immediately back and I pick up the elementary kids. There's 6
Jesus
of them.
Christ.
And then I drive them to the elementary school and then come back, and then usually have about an hour, then I gotta be at the office.
Groceries are at least, it's about $250 to $500 like every week. That's not including like if we go out to eat somewhere, about $200, $300.
Jesus
Pretty much
Christ.
after cleanup is chore time, get ready for the next day time.
8 o'clock, shut her down.
Yeah.
Interesting plot twist we have here. So he had 8, she had 3, so they came in with 11, which makes the age gap thing, I can't say better, but it smalls it, shrinks it a little bit. It's fascinating that they had middle school and elementary school, no high schoolers, no, they were definitely, did they mention high schoolers? Was this an old video? Because they definitely have teenagers. Hold up. Yeah.
Elementary school.
So he drives the primary school kids to school, and then the middle school kids to school, and then he comes back and he has some time. So there are definitely high schoolers based off of what we've seen so far. So 22 people? That feels wrong. I mean, on the bright side, at least they go to school, right? There is that at least, because every single other one of these big
I can't watch this anymore. I can't watch this. When people say it takes a village to raise Okay, I don't think they meant you had to make one. Well, I cackle. I'm going to make fucking grilled cheese for your children. I love them, bread. As a psychology student, emotional abuse, neglected children whose needs were met absolutely hate families like this. Older children are absolutely parentified, miss out on childhood, and be traumatized by that. And there's absolutely going to be emotional neglect because you can't meet all the developmental emotional needs. All these kids will need therapy as adults. That's not okay. It is not okay. Before the fact that these leads to awful abuse, especially when parents yank them out of school. Yep, I agree. I want to study psychology, adult with neglected emotional abuse, and my needs weren't met during most of my life, and it's a major reason why I need therapy today. And I refuse to have kids because I'm deeply afraid of messing up like my parents and general relatives did. Yep. Absolutely, that is fair. That is absolutely fair. And pretty much that's also how I'm feeling about myself as well. I still want to get into psychology, yes. However, life circumstances and shit like that, and then yeah, I'm a VTuber. But yeah, I also suffer neglect and emotional abuse, physical abuse as well. But yeah, trauma, you gotta love that. I can't say the last kind of trauma, even though I suffered it, because YouTube will fucking demonetize me or terminate my channel. Is equal to being around 15 years. What's the point if you list pregnancy as a chronic? At what point do you list pregnancy as a chronic illness or addiction, fetish? Oh no, maybe both. Might be good. It's so weird. It is weird. Call it an addiction. Ooh, yeah. Only talk. Oh my god. Some people thought he should just do it without being paid. Like he didn't choose to sibling. Yeah, the mom. Well, when the mom is more like a queen bee or aunt than an actual mom. Exactly. 250, 22. Even buying in bulk, it seems outrageous to me. Yep. But these parents have a the children are cannot consider. So this you stop. This is so telling. Bingo. First thought, sadly, it's gross. He has a fantasy, but then don't force people into this world. Neglect them. Exactly. I don't understand these people. I can try to force it.
I am deeply interested in what is going to happen to legacy systems as artificial intelligence begins to rapidly take over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say rapidly, I mean most people that are aware of what artificial intelligence is have tried it at least once. By AI, I am most specifically speaking to large language models or LLMs like ChatGPT or Claude's or Anthropic's Claude or Google's Gemini.
Imagine one day they soon upgrade these LLMs like ChatGPT and stuff like that. Imagine they upgrade it until you're required to have the TPM2 chip. If it's like, obviously phones will not have it, so you're not gonna be able to use it on the phone. Obviously they won't do that because they're stupid. But also, What if they end up requiring a TPM2 chip or a TPM3 chip? I know Microsoft's gonna do, oh, you require a TPM3 chip. All right, okay, here's Windows like 13. You require TPM4, TPM5, TPM6. Holy shit.
I find it so fascinating, like incredibly fascinating, how artificial intelligence is essentially upending legacy systems. And one of these most interesting areas where it is actually affecting these systems is schools and the pretty much the entire education system, from primary education to college education. Now, I'm just a guy. I'm not, I don't have a PhD or anything like that. I'm just talking tech and AI. I find this really interesting. So you've got students that are submitting essays to professors. They're submitting essays to teachers that are written entirely by ChatGPT. And the crazy thing is, you can write these essays with ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and you can make it so that they effectively, like, you can get it to write in a specific style. Like, you can upload your own writing, and you can get Claude and Gemini, ChatGPT to reflect your own writing. Like, it'll look at your writing, analyze it, and then it'll use those patterns of your own speech to write an essay in the way you would write an essay. So it's pretty damn near impossible for teachers and professors to be able to check, did an artificial intelligence write this essay? It's text, right? It's plain text. There isn't really any, like, watermarks you can put inside there. Like, you could, like, for example, the most obvious watermark that a essay was written by ChatGPT is a lot of M dashes. If you see a incredible amount of M dashes, there is a high chance that the essay was written by ChatGPT. However, there are people out there who, unfortunately for them, love writing with M dashes and have been completely demolished because so many professors and teachers have thought their essays were written with artificial intelligence. They've been flagged for that many times, and they may have actually written their entire essay without using AI by hand, and they just happen to like M dashes, and they just got screwed over. So
yeah,
if you're one of those people, I sympathize with you. I feel bad for you, and I hope that you're working through this grieving process. It's pretty crazy though. Like, artificial intelligence has pretty much demolished essay writing, which is sad, because unless students are testing kids by writing essays on demand in the school classroom without any technology being in the room, like, you have to go into a classroom, you have to check your phone somewhere, and you need to not have access to any computer. This is essentially the only way you could learn to write an essay, or, like, be tested for writing an essay.
Yeah.
Like, I can't see another way you could really do that. And even if you guys want to say, oh, but you could just do oral testing, you could just have the person see if they could understand the information they need to know beforehand, and they could just do an oral exam. Well, think about it this way: the person could essentially just have, Googled it with AI beforehand, read the AI summary, and then just did the oral report after and just summarized it. Unless there was a removal of technology, like, the individual didn't have a phone on them, they didn't have access to a computer, they didn't have access to an AI. And the crazy thing is, these legacy systems, these schools and colleges are not keeping up with advancements in AI. Like, they are so far behind. Like, there is just, the bigger the organization is, the slower it moves. And it's crazy how fast small companies have been able to adapt and employ AI in their own workspaces, and that's like increasing their output like multitudes. It's fascinating to me.
Okay.
I'm curious how are these large institutions going to incorporate artificial intelligence into their their systems, and how well are they going to incorporate them into their systems? Because for a long time, like even secondary education, like if you want to go get a college degree or university degree, there's a lot of people now who feel very strongly that those degrees have become useless. And you know, I'm not saying that they are. I mean, there is still value in education and in learning, but they're like, when I went to college, I took time to learn a skill set, and the skill set I was learning, about 50% of the course load that I did, maybe even 60% of the course load, was irrelevant to the job that I was going into. Completely irrelevant. It had not been updated in over 5 years. It was crazy. It was like the things we needed to learn that were important to the job were not there inside the core program. And I find that crazy that like institutions are not keeping up with the speed of technology. And I mean, how could they? They're so big and bloated and filled with bureaucracy and red tape that like it's no surprise that they can't. Which makes me wonder, is AI going to unravel so many of these legacy systems? One of them being school, the other one being government. Like even government is going to struggle to keep up with enacting policies in regards to artificial intelligence. Now, I'm not one to get political on this channel. I don't really want to. However, this is just an observation in sense of governments in general. Doesn't matter which government, but can governments in general even keep up with the speed of artificial intelligence and the rate it's developing? Because it's developing wicked fast. And now Claude Code is being written by Claude Code. Like they're getting AI to write their own artificial intelligence for the next generation. It's getting better. And the programming that's coming out of these models, like it's crazy. Like I've used these models for programming before, and it's so much faster and so much more effective than I could ever write code that I can't even see a reason to even bother learning the code. Well, if you're just going to be scripting, at least, like if you're going to be learning how to develop an application, you should know what the heck it is you're doing. But if you're just writing a script, scripting especially, if you just need to write a script to execute a macro to do like a specific task in a computer,
I refuse to use AI for art and for coding. I would rather learn everything by hand, even if it's excruciatingly painful to learn. I'd rather learn by hand.
Like getting ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini to write that code for you is like, it's a no-brainer. It's like, why not? It's going to save you so much time. You don't need to learn how to write, in Python or whatever language you want to use, and you just generate something, just done. So I'm fascinated by how artificial intelligence is going to affect the world. It's going to affect these legacy systems that exist. It's going to affect the world economy. Like it is very interesting to me. My attention is fully hooked because it's changing it right now. It's changing it whether people are noticing or not. Like there's millionaires being made by the day with artificial intelligence, being able to employ things that they could not do before. It's giving people power they never had the power beforehand to be able to execute things they could never execute before. People with ideas are now able to execute ideas they just couldn't. They didn't have the skill sets or the tools to be able to do certain things. Like, imagine not only more influencers, but more video game developers, more businesses for small niche businesses, more products, more blogs, more everything. Like, it's crazy. Like this is a massive accelerant to so many different industries. And yes, artificial intelligence is broken in many ways. It is not perfect. It does hallucinate. It does output bad code. It does output completely wrong statements. And so it needs to be scrutinized and evaluated every time you get an output, especially in sensitive industries like healthcare. But in general, like in broad sweeping strokes, it is providing far more value than it is providing little value. It just depends on like if you know how to use it or not, and if you're using it for things that would help you make your life better. I mean, if you're using it for analyzing things, I find that it's not super great at analysis. I've used it for analysis on a lot of different areas. Sometimes it gives you something useful, sometimes it doesn't. But ideation, coming up with ideas, man, like it can come up with some really sophisticated ideas that you can employ, like even for making YouTube videos. Like if you want to start a YouTube channel today and you just sucked at coming up with ideas, you could just get an artificial intelligence to generate ideas for you, get the artificial intelligence to generate the script, and then you could get an AI to audibly say the script, and then you could generate video to like put that on top of the script to match the what's exactly happening in the script to the exact time. Like you could do all that. You could do everything with an AI. You wouldn't even have to talk. You wouldn't have to say anything. And you could start a YouTube channel that way, and you could grow it, and you could probably get a lot of subscribers, because if your content was providing value to people, even if it was AI, even though there's people who don't like AI content and don't want to watch it, there are still people who don't care and will watch it, and the channel will grow.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty crazy world we're living in right now, and this is literally we haven't even like got past the tip of the iceberg of how this is going to impact the world. Like really. Like we've only been cooking with AI for what, but like 3 years? What was it, 2022? Is that kind of when it hit? Okay, it's 2026 now. Wow, that went by fast. 4 years. We've been cooking with AI for about 4 years. Like publicly, when it became publicly available, when GPT 3.0 hit, right? 4 years of AI. Where are we now? I mean, GPT 3.0, not that useful. GPT 4.0, getting useful. GPT, what are we, 4.5? I don't even remember what version we're on. 5.2, we're on 5.2. It is now decently useful. And people were still using it beforehand. Like I was using it. Like it was very useful for writing. Incredibly.
Yeah.
Curious, if you do use artificial intelligence, please let me know in the comments below how you use it. If you care to share, I would love to know if you have found useful ways for using it that is outside of just in general writing, if you found it useful for analysis, because I have not yet. And what your thoughts are on how it might affect legacy systems, because I
honestly could probably destroy legacy systems in some way.
5 words. That's all it takes. 5 words on a government memo and the question just goes away. The journalists back off, the politicians move on, and the people who briefed it, drank it, walked through it, they never even knew that there was a question to ask. No danger to the public. San Francisco 1950, Hanford, Washington 1949, St. Louis 1953, London 1963, and the South Australian desert 1956. 5 different cities, 5 different decades, 5 different governments, and in every single case the same 5-word phrase or something close to it showed up in the paperwork after the fact. After the spraying was done, after the fallout had already settled, after the children had already played in the fog. Today we're going to unseal these 5 stories, and by the end I think you'll understand something that took me a while to accept. This wasn't a series of mistakes, it was a pattern, and it only stopped because people got caught. September 20th, 1950. The Korean War is 3 months old. Senator McCarthy is on television, and just off the coast of San Francisco, a United States minesweeper is doing something it will take 26 years to admit. The ship is 2 miles out from the Golden Gate Bridge. The crew are pointing what looks like an industrial hose towards the city. What comes out of those hoses isn't water. It is a fine mist of 2 bacterial agents, Bacillus globigii and Serratia marcescens. I definitely did not pronounce that right. I am sorry. Serratia is found naturally in soil and water. It produces a distinctive bright red pigment, blood red in fact, which is exactly why the military chose it. If you spray it over a city and then swab surfaces afterwards, those red colonies are impossible to miss on a petri dish. It is the perfect tracer organism. So the Navy wanted to answer one question. If an enemy submarine surfaced near a port city and released a cloud of biological agent, how far would it spread? Over 6 days, September 20th through to the 27th, the ship sprayed and the army monitored. 43 sampling stations had been placed around San Francisco and the surrounding suburbs. The results exceeded. The hospital had never recorded a single case of it before the first 1950, and he was dead. Stanford's doctors were baffled. Then he made them a promise. If anyone ever talked about it publicly, the Navy would make sure that person could never find work anywhere in the United States. So the public didn't learn about this until 1976, when a Long Island newspaper called Newsday broke the story. In 1977, the Army admitted to Senate subcommittee hearings that it had conducted 239 open-air biological warfare tests between 1949 and 1969.
That's fucked up.
80
That's
of them
fucked up.
used live bacteria. Edward Nevin's grandson, an attorney, sued the federal government. The case went all the way to the Supreme Court. The family lost, the government was ruled immune. And the official position from the beginning, no danger to the public.
Excuse
9
me?
months before San Francisco, there was Hanford. In December 1949, the Soviet Union had just detonated its first atomic bomb 3 months
I
earlier.
remember that.
And whatever conditions were wrong, the Department of Defense ordered the test to proceed. The filters in the exhaust stacks at Hanford's T plant were switched off, and 1 ton of green uranium fuel was dissolved in acid. The original plan was to release roughly 4,000 curies of iodine-131.
Kitty sleepy.
Well, they released closer to 8,000, nearly double. To put that into perspective, the 3 Mile Island accident in 1979, the worst commercial nuclear accident in American history at the time, released an estimated 15 curies of iodine-131. The Green Run released over 500 times that amount. No evacuations, no warnings, no advisories about milk or produce. I mean, it was December, and officials later argued that because it was winter, there were no crops being harvested and there were few cows grazing outdoors, so the exposure was minimal, right? But iodine-131 concentrates in the thyroid gland. It travels through dairy, and families in rural Washington drank local milk all year round. At 3 Mile Island, schools were closed. A 20-mile evacuation zone was established. Over 600,000 people were displaced. At Hanford, after the Green Run, people woke up the next morning and went about their lives. They couldn't see it, they couldn't taste it, and the government made damn sure they didn't know about it. The Green Run stayed classified until 1986, 37 years, when a citizen advocacy group called the Hanford Education Action League pried it loose through Freedom of Information requests. And even then, key sections of the official report were blacked out. The names of who authorized it remains classified to this day. Those who lived downwind came to be known as the Downwinders. They reported cancer, thyroid disease, miscarriages.
Jesus
In
Christ.
2005, a lawsuit on behalf of 2,300 affected people resulted in just 2 plaintiffs being awarded compensation. $500,000 between them.
Jesus
and
Christ.
the line in the paperwork, the one that cleared the test to proceed, no ground level danger anticipated. The summer of 1953, St. Louis, Missouri,
I don't
a
understand these people.
housing complex, 33 towers of concrete and brick, home to around 10,000 people. 70% of those residents were children under 12. Nearly all of them were black, and in military planning documents obtained decades later through Freedom of Information requests, the neighborhood was described in 2 words: slum district. That description wasn't incidental. It was the point. The Army's Chemical Corps were running a program to test how aerosol agents would disperse over a major American city. St. Louis was selected because its population density, terrain, and river geography made it a close physical analog to Moscow. If you wanted to model what a biological or chemical attack on the Soviet capital might look like, St. Louis, that's your guy. And if you wanted a test site where the subjects were unlikely to have the political power to ask questions, Pro-Igo was your neighborhood. Men in protective suits appeared on rooftops. Motorized blowers were installed on top of buildings. Vehicles with spray nozzles rolled through the streets. And from those devices came a fine, persistent fog. The compound being sprayed was zinc cadmium sulfite, a fluorescent chemical that glows under ultraviolet light, making it easy to track over long distances. former residents report a litany of cancers, kidney disease, and autoimmune disorders. No comprehensive health study of the affected population has ever been conducted. In September 2023, former residents formed an organization called FACTS, Pruitt Ego, Historical Accounting, Compensation, and Truth-Seeking. They are still fighting for recognition. And the Army's official position? A spokesperson told the Associated Press that health assessments had concluded exposure would not pose a health risk. No danger to the public. This one's a little close to home. 1963, the Cold War is at its peak. The Cuban Missile Crisis was just 12 months, 13 years earlier, chosen because it was considered a safe stand-in for anthrax. The results were, in the ministry's own words, a success. Swabs taken in the days and weeks that followed showed that the spores had spread the full length of the northern line. They reached Camden Town, 10 miles from the release of 𝙂𝙬, sprayed from ships in Lime Bay. Military personnel who encountered curious members of the public were given a cover story. They were told to say the trials were research projects into weather patterns and air pollution. Might have been affected after spraying live bacteria over the populated area for 2 decades. In 2002, a Ministry of Defense report acknowledged the trials and stated that the substances used had posed no danger to public health. The phrasing, once again, was familiar: no danger to public health. The word Maralinga means thunder, though not in the language of the people who lived there. It was borrowed from an extinct language.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 5 times in history where government, where the military or the government damn near caused a fucking pandemic. Holy shit! No. We shouldn't just treat this as a biological warfare. We should treat this as potentially causing a worldwide pandemic. That'll make the government not only answer to the citizens, but also make the government answer to other governments.
Language spoken 1,000 miles away. The British chose the name. They did not ask the 𝙂𝙬𝙤𝙬 people, the traditional custodians of that desert land, for permission to use it. They didn't ask permission for much of anything. In 1955, the Australian Prime Minister Robert Menzies received a request from Britain. The UK needed a permanent site to test nuclear weapons. Australia's was rushed, incomplete, and some families were simply left behind. There are documented cases of Aboriginal families sheltering behind sand dunes during a detonation, watching the sky darken, inhaling the dust with no protective equipment and no warning. One naval patrol officer, one man, Walter McDougall, was responsible for clearing Aboriginal people from hundreds of thousands of square kilometers slowly releasing plutonium. It is being absorbed by wildlife. 46 square kilometers remains designated as accessible but definitely not habitable. In 1994, the Australian government paid the 𝙂𝙬𝙤𝙬 people $13.5 million in compensation. For their land, for their health, for their dead. The British government contributed £20 million towards the cleanup, but in 2013 a UK court ruled that veterans could not sue for compensation because they could not prove their illnesses were caused by radiation exposure. The court acknowledged this was almost impossible to prove. That was the point. And through it all, through the testing, the contamination, the displacement, the cancer, the blindness, the dead desert. How the hell do you kill a desert? The official line from both governments was the same. No Australian lives would be endangered. So here's the
Australian lives. So they didn't care about the native people, the one who were fucking they didn't care about. Oh my god. Holy fucking shit. What the fuck? So, for the 1, 2, 3, the 4. First 4, they did each of them damn near caused a fucking pandemic. Fifth one, if it went wrong in some way, They could cause a fucking extinction. The extinction all over for the entirety of Australia. They could cause they could have caused an extinction for the entirety of Australia. Holy fucking shit.
Pattern, and it's not a complicated one. In fact, its simplicity is the most disturbing thing about it. Step 1, identify a city or population, preferably one that is either unaware, powerless, or remote enough that complaints will be slow to surface. Step 2, conduct the experiments and use what you believe to be harmless agents or what you're willing to call harmless, and if any real risk exists, just classify the details and proceed anyway. Step 3, when questions arise, and they will probably arise, sometimes immediately, sometimes decades later, deploy the phrase, or one of its cousins, no danger to the public. No health risk anticipated. These substances posed no threat. No Australian lives would be endangered. Step 4, classify the evidence. Deny freedom of information requests for as long as legally possible. When forced to release documents, just redact the sections that are inconvenient to you. Step 5, when the lawsuits come, invoke sovereign immunity. When the health claims come, point to the absence of the very study you never conducted. And when the survivors organize, just wait them out, because when you've irradiated them, time is somewhat on your side, and not theirs. This video covers 5 cities, but between 1949 and 1979, American and British military programs conducted hundreds of open-air tests. In Minneapolis, in Winnipeg, in Norfolk, in New York, along the Pennsylvania Turnpike, across the south coast of England, over Dorset, and in the Australian desert. The complete list has never been fully disclosed. The reason this matters is not because it's history. It's because every one of these programs operated on the same assumption, that secrecy was more important than consent, and the phrase "no danger to the public" was not a finding, it was a strategy. And if you're watching this from a city, any city, understand this. The only reason you know these stories today is because someone filed a request, or someone broke their silence, or a journalist wouldn't let it go. In every case, the truth was never volunteered. It was extracted. Normally decades late, and over the objections of the people who had written those 5 words in the first place. No danger to the public. That's what they said every single time.
Holy fuck, that's... Yeesh. Holy fuck.
Hi everyone, today we are going to cover in detail why you should never ever in your entire fucking life sell yourself on the internet, okay? Yes, I am talking...
Like, I want to see this. Oh, real quick. Switch again real quick. Switch, there we go.
Hi everyone, today we are going to
Exactly. Tragic. Parasocial. Yeah. Honestly, still. If you're like 20, if you have the money to do so, and you're like in your 20s, or if you're at least 25 and just want to make as many sources of revenue as possible, sure, go right ahead. We already know how sleazy that industry is, but like, at the same time, we gotta do what we gotta do, unfortunately. There's not a, oh, just don't do it at all. It's like, There are nuances.
Cover in detail why you should never ever in your entire fucking life sell yourself on the internet, okay? Yes, I am talking about OnlyFans. However, I am not only talking about OnlyFans. There are many different platforms.
Oh, real quick. She doesn't provide any sources. She doesn't cite her sources. Look, even if you have valid things are like valid under very specific circumstances. Cite your fucking sources. I don't care if you're in the right or wrong. Cite your fucking sources. If you don't cite your sources, you're automatically not really. I'm not gonna say not trustworthy. I'm more gonna say questionable. You're just questionable for not citing sources.
So I am gonna cuff you, and it's gonna be in the front. Really? You're gonna embarrass me in front of all of my... I'm not gonna embarrass you.
I'm sorry, when you get caught being a thief, you don't get, discretion. Today's body cam video is taking place inside of a Home Depot, but the drama's not coming from the lumber aisle or the self-checkout, it's coming from behind the cash register. So according to the store, and the reason why the
I'm still not
police were
surprised.
called is one of their employees found a very creative way to help a certain customer get a home renovation completely free of charge. I'm talking flooring, paint, tools, even a DeWalt table saw, all quietly walking out those Home Depot doors over a 6-month period. And the total for all of this stuff was well over $5,000. So then when the police show up, of course, this employee has no idea what they're talking about, doesn't remember any of the transaction, doesn't have any idea who the customer is, and no idea why the store would think that she is involved. So we're gonna watch and see how all of this unfolds, because nothing ruins your shift faster than finding
Okay, even though they got her, I want them they got the guy as well.
out that loss prevention has already done their homework, and the police are waiting for you in the break room.
Respond to a Home Depot after an employee is identified using her cashier ID to facilitate the theft of over $5,700 worth of merchandise over a 6-month period.
Holy shit.
It's been going on at least since September. Okay. We didn't know until. So we have a thing where you can, like, if let's say you scan something twice, you can remove one thing. Right. That's how she got caught. Okay. Because she scanned something twice, removed it. Same customer every single time, and then at that point she passed 2 plants. But since then she's passed $5,700 worth of stuff since September. Okay. She's the same customer. She claims she doesn't know that customer.
700. That's close to 6,000, not 5,000, 6,000. Holy shit.
She claims she agrees that it happened because I did my homework, but she doesn't remember any of it. Okay. So. The interesting thing is the other associate that she passed merchandise to works for that customer. Okay. Part-time. So. But she didn't know that either.
She was telling me that whoever this customer
There's
is,
2 employees involved.
it's going to be.
We'll go after her as well. Yeah. She actually owns an animal hospital fairly close to here. So I'm assuming that's where all the flooring is. Is in their animal hospital. But,
yeah.
So that's what she's primarily been taking is flooring,
paint,
Yeah.
and then the most recent one, March 9th, was a DeWalt table saw and some tile. So she's obviously renovating something. I don't know if it's I didn't go to the clinic. I don't know if it's a clinic or a house, or I have no idea. But,
well, it's not a very expensive renovation then.
yeah, not when all your materials are free.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go in and let her know that we're terminating her. Okay. And then you guys can go in.
Okay, real quick, I can also take this since you're just helping out today.
I didn't know if I was talking to you.
No, it's all good. We're all the same, and you are the
district loss prevention.
Okay.
She also apparently works for something with the school board part-time. So she may
She's making great choices.
guys, but hopefully not teacher that's teaching my kids, right? Hopefully not.
Oh, and she got a side hustle that's part of the school system.
Yeesh.
Okay, so we've seen cashiers steal before. We've seen cashiers steal cash. We've seen like allowing of skip scanning, whether or not, you know, it's for them or for somebody that they know. We've seen all of this kind of stuff before. So this part is not exactly new, right? However, that's a lot of money over a 6-month period for her just to think she was gonna get away with it. She's just gonna get away with it. And the fact that loss prevention told her about the transactions, told her what customer it was. She's claiming that she doesn't know who this customer is. She remembers, you know, that she took off transactions or whatever, but she must think that loss prevention is pretty damn stupid to think that it's just a coincidence that she makes so many errors on just this one customer's transactions. Really?
Really?
No,
Really?
it's a little too greedy, I mean, and that's usually the downfall of anybody that, you know, shoplifts, is they think that they keep getting away with it, so they get more and more bold, and then they get busted.
Mm-hmm.
Hey there, hi. Elena, right? Yes. Hey, I'm Officer Branch with the Palm Bay Police Department. You know, I'm talking to you. Excuse me? Do you know why I'm speaking with you today? No. Okay, so I know that you were just terminated from Home Depot. They ended up calling us in regard to what has been going on. Okay. And basically, I would just like to ask you if you would like to speak with us. Okay. So basically, they would like to pursue charges on this. So I'm just going to read you your Miranda warning. Okay. If you want to get more comfortable and set your stuff down, you absolutely can. But I'll just read you your Miranda warning, and then we can go from there. Okay. You can read them. All right. So just that I have my diabetic monitor on my phone, and totally understand that. I'm not going to hand you anything. And I just need. What time is it? Right now it's about 12:24. Oh, I'm okay. Okay. Till 1. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you just let me know. Okay. Do you have an automatic pump or anything for your insulin? No, it's in my bag. Okay. All right. So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have one present with you while you are being questioned. Okay. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish one. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of these rights that I've explained to you? Yes. Okay. Having these rights in mind, are you willing to speak with us now? Yeah. Okay. So, in regard to this, I mean, is reportedly about $5,700. That's what they're saying. Okay. Well, tell me your side. I can't recall their name. He named some random person that I have no knowledge of, and he says that it was ongoing and it was only that particular customer, never anyone else. Okay. Before I keep asking you some questions, do you mind getting your driver's license out and I can hold your phone for you? As far as, you know, the things that you're saying you don't call, did they explain to you the method that you were using to attain certain things? Yeah, but they're only showing me one customer. I mean, they're pertaining to. They only showed me one customer. It's because it was that one customer you were allowing to steal.
Exactly.
That's why they were only showing you one customer. I think she's trying to play dumb right now. I mean, obviously she's playing dumb right now. She's playing dumb and trying to say, well, yeah, they told me that it was all of these instances, but they're only showing me one customer, as if she's trying to say that all of these instances should be, on numerous different customers, and therefore their accusations are invalid or something. I don't know exactly what she's trying to get off on here, but she made sure to tell them that she's, got to take her diabetes medicine and stuff. I'm sure, she wants to seem as helpless as possible. I mean, wait a minute. She's drinking a full sugar Pepsi. She did say she was diabetic, right? That's what she was talking about, the monitor and the Okay, hold on.
Have my diabetic
That's a Pepsi.
on my phone and
Totally understand that. I'm not gonna hand you anything.
Yep, that's what she said. Diabetic monitor. Why is she drinking full sugar soda? Should diabetics be drinking full sugar soda?
No. People with diabetes should avoid full sugar soda. It has high amounts of sugar that cause quick spikes in blood glucose. Instead, choose water, sparkling water, or zero-calorie drinks. For medical...
Seriously.
Do you think she actually has diabetes, or do you think she's just looking for a reason to seem weak and need to keep her phone with her? Ooh, anybody else notice that as soon as she said that she's diabetic? She's holding a full sugar Pepsi. At least it looks full sugar to me. I don't know. Could be a zero. Let's see if we can find out. Is this whole thing gonna become about her Pepsi bottle? I sure hope not, but now I'm hyper fixated on it.
random person that I
Same
have
here.
no knowledge of and else.
License out and I can do it for you. Driver's license out and I can do it for you.
Yep, that's full sugar. One
Full
bottle
sugar.
has 260 calories.
Full sugar.
Busted. Busted. If you're really diabetic, you should not be drinking that soda. Okay, now that that's out of my system. Now that that's out of my system, back.
Lindsay, are you autistic? Are you autistic or ADHD? Because I feel like you are, because I vibe with you so well. A little too well, actually.
To her getting arrested.
As far as, you know, the things that you're saying you don't call, did they explain to you the method that you were using to attain certain things?
But they're only showing me one customer. I mean, they're pertaining to one particular person that I can supposedly be doing this, but I have no recollection of who they are.
Okay. What was the method that they were saying that you were using?
Scanning 3 items and not the rest. Letting things walk out the door. I don't have that practice with anybody, so
You don't have that what?
practice with anybody else. Supposedly, out of all the thousands of scans that I've done, it's just this one particular person, and I don't recollect that person.
When you say you don't recollect that person, this one person has been involved
supposedly
multiple times.
Multiple times on this. Supposedly that I've let go, not rung up, or let things go by.
And if you don't know this person, but this person has come back multiple times, could you recognize this person?
If they would let me know who the person is,
Okay. Do you know or remember the items that you
According to him, he said flooring, baseboards, like the wall, I think saw, he said.
Well, I'm not necessarily basing it just on what they're saying. I want you to tell me your side, because of course we got called here because they called us. And what they are reporting is quite the theft. I mean that's a felony
That's
level
what they're
theft.
saying,
So
yes.
how long have you been employed with Home Depot?
5 years.
5 years? Have you been in trouble for anything like this before?
No, I worked for a doctor for 15 years. And he retired recently, back in 2019.
You worked for who again?
A doctor. I was working for a doctor. He was an eye surgeon. He retired and I came to work here.
So 5 years. How long have you lived in Palm Bay?
About 20.
Do you have any friends that are currently doing a remodeling?
No, and my house doesn't need, my house needs remodeling, but I haven't started any procedure on that yet.
Okay. So why do you believe that they are saying that you're doing this?
I have no idea.
She is trying to bullshit her way out of it. They already have more than enough to arrest her.
The name of someone who supposedly has all of these items. Would you tell me if
I know them?
Sure. What's the name of the person?
No, I I don't know what W. Butler, that's the name he gave me in there as well. I don't know. I have no association with her. I've ever met her. Don't know even what she looks like because he didn't show me any of the photos.
It just seems a little weird that they, you know, would call us, they'd go through the process of...
That's fine. It's what they got to do. I mean, I'm not.
You just seem kind of like nonchalant about it. I would be very upset if I was in your...
I would be very upset if I was accused of stealing and printing all the police. I was like, blah, 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 blah. She's very nonchalant about it. Very not the expected behavior, and I think she knows she's been caught. And she's trying to play it off.
Not because it's like, you know, I only work here part-time, and, you know, I've done the best. My attendance is spectacular. I'm always here, and they call me, I work, you know, so if this is the way they want to look at something, I mean, I can't help them.
Oh, I would be getting so irritated if I was the loss prevention manager at Home Depot if I heard her saying all of this stuff. I've been a good employee. I'm always on time. I always work my shift. That doesn't give you permission to be a thief. Lots of people go to work every day and make an honest living. You stole thousands of dollars from a company that you are supposedly a model employee for. Model employee, my ass.
Exactly.
I have to go through this because I work for the school board as well, and I tutor children, you know, so...
Let's keep sounding like an outstanding citizen, that you're a model employee, you always show up for your shifts, you always clock in on time, you work for the school district, you used to work in a doctor's office. I don't know anything about stolen merchandise for this one customer over 6 months. That's such a coincidence. I don't have any idea. Why would they blame this on me? I've been such a model employee. Oh, God. She ever gonna fess up to it? She's blowing a lot of...
Is she ever gonna quit her shit?
Bullshit out.
Yeah. I have to just clear my name because they wanted me to come on board full-time. Yeah. And I can't do that now with this, so I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Well, I don't want you to make up anything. I mean, if it's not true, it's not true. However, based on the things that we have, of course, like we have to take the next steps. So they would like to pursue charges, so you are going to be in custody for that. Do you have any further questions for right now?
Not right now, I don't know.
Okay. Is there anyone at home that you need to call or coordinate a ride with your vehicle?
Well, I have a vehicle. I can meet you at the station, whichever way.
No, that's not how it's going to work this time. So this time you're coming with us.
Okay.
But that's why I'm asking if you can call anybody to come get your vehicle, or where's your insulin at?
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair question. Yeah, it's like, you can't really just leave it there, or the vehicle can get towed. We just don't pick it up.
Well, I have my bag in there, so I have to go get my...
Hi, welcome. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Welcome. How are you? Welcome to the live stream. Sorry I didn't see you earlier. I was more focused on being flabbergasted about this lady trying to bullshit her way out of the situation, or like, nah. Well, welcome. Feel free to make yourself at home. Feel free to kick back, relax. Feel free to ask me any questions. Welcome. Hope you're doing well.
Insulin at home.
Where is your bag?
In my locker.
In your locker? Okay. So you haven't cleared out your locker at all yet?
No, all I need is my bag. It's still in there.
All right.
Yeah, fair.
My apron there. So
okay, let's walk to your locker and get your bag. Okay.
Okay.
Where's your stuff out of the locker?
And I do think that it is a little, what's the word? Delusional? For her to think that she needs to clear her name because they just asked her to go full time. No.
It's right in here. Can we do it outside?
So I'm gonna
right alongside.
listen, I know you've been super respectful, but this is just our policy, okay? So I am gonna cuff you, and it's gonna be in the front.
Really? You're gonna embarrass me in front of all of my...
I'm not gonna embarrass you.
Okay.
I'm just
So you want to do it in the front?
I'm sorry, when you get caught
You
being
get caught.
a thief,
Yeah.
you don't get, discretion. You get to be treated like everybody else. It doesn't matter that you're older. It doesn't matter that you have diabetes. It doesn't matter that you were a model employee. You're gonna get treated like everybody else who is accused of stealing with proof.
I'm just feeling
With proof.
I have to do this, okay?
Thank you.
Kept them super loose, so I'm not gonna
Thank you.
like that, okay?
Hmm.
268, can you show one finger in custody?
Make sure that my keys are held up on the bag.
Yep, they are.
Oh, okay. Just making sure because I didn't know if I left them off on the side.
Did he say horse? Okay.
Horse. Yeah, everyone's looking.
Just put your... It's not the most comfortable.
All our stuff up with you.
Okay. What's that?
I'll take all the stuff up.
Thank you.
I'll swear him in real quick.
All right.
All right, just raise your right hand for me. Swear you tell me the truth, all the truth, nothing but the truth? Yes. You understand lying's bad? The what? Lying is bad. Lying is bad? Lying is bad. I would agree, lying is bad. There you go.
The employee was charged with one felony count of grand theft between $5,000 and $10,000. The total validated loss to Home Depot from the alleged internal scheme over 6 months was $5,702.81. When arrested, the employee denied knowing anything about the theft and was booked into jail on a $2,500 bond.
Well, that was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
For 6 months, merchandise just quietly walked out the door. Thousands of dollars worth of tools and materials just gone. And somehow the person behind the register doesn't remember any of it. Maybe she genuinely thought that nobody would notice. I mean, I think that that's kind of a thought that a lot of people have when they're stealing from a major corporation, that there's so many people and so much merchandise to track that what's a measly $5,000 worth of stuff, right? But what she didn't think about is that loss prevention was tracking all transactions, every scan, every void, every receipt, and eventually those numbers started telling a story, and she got busted. It ended with felony grand theft charges and a very, very awkward walk through Home Depot in handcuffs. If you guys like videos like this, let me know by hitting
She always showed up to work because it's hard. You're not there alone. She's not embarrassing you. You embarrass yourself. Ruger's iced tea. You played yourself alone. I can guarantee that when the detective works the case, she will easily connect her to the person she did with and did the theft with. Yep. And they will find the other person and charge them as well. Yep.
Guide dogs have this really interesting skill called intelligent disobedience. A guide dog team operates as a synchronized unit. The human handler is the navigator, and the dog executes. Let's say they're waiting at a crosswalk and the light changes. So the handler issues the forward prompt to cross, but a silent electric vehicle is speeding towards the red light. The dog will actively disobey the forward prompt, physically blocking the handler from stepping off the curb. That calculated refusal is called intelligent disobedience. In the field of working animal behavior, intelligent disobedience is actively taught as a critical safety mechanism. The guide dog has more information about the environment, so they are trained to override direct commands. This intelligent disobedience through a strict veto is really the best way for dogs to work with humans to make decisions. Because dogs can't talk. In some modern cars, there's something similar called acceleration control for pedal error. Let's say you're in a parking lot, parking facing a brick wall, and you go to reverse, but accidentally stomp the accelerator instead of the brakes. Instead of launching you through the wall, the car's ultrasonic sensors detect the immediate obstacle. The computer intercepts your throttle command and actively applies the brakes. The car has disregarded your direct command, but intelligently and to your benefit. So let's talk about AI. AIs aren't dogs, so are they capable of intelligent disobedience?
Ooh, I think I think I remember seeing this one.
Five teenagers are dropped off just outside the port of Antwerp. The port is as big as an entire
There we go.
city, and it never sleeps. Throughout the night, there are trucks rolling in and containers being shifted around. But the boys are here for a very different kind of...
Also, I don't think you've noticed that a feature with YouTube that's been recently is that the black bars are no longer black. They're called they're basically quote unquote dynamic backgrounds, pretty much. Pretty just shifting to match the cut tone. I think it's like make it easier on the eyes if they have it like it's disturbed. It bothers me. It bothers me a bit.
Job. Their mission is to get their hands on bags full of cocaine hidden somewhere in this maze of countless containers. And inside the maze, Belgian police are always on alert. One wrong move, and it's game over. This is the insane, brutal world of Europe's coke runners.
All work, no pleasure.
Okay, no, we're not gonna have any copyright issues.
News. Now, with your on China's secret...
Europeans love cocaine. We already made a video about how the continent is hooked on coke, how the market for it keeps growing, how the substance works, and what it does to the people who use it. What we didn't specifically talk about is how it gets here. How a product that's made thousands of kilometers away in the jungles of Latin America ends
I sneezed.
up in a nightclub bathroom in Berlin. Almost all of the world's cocaine is produced here in Colombia, Bolivia, or Peru. Often, it's brought from the jungle to other Latin American countries first. Powerful cartels control this part of trafficking. Mexican organizations like the Sinaloa Cartel and Cartel de Jalisco Nueva Generación, known as the CJNG, or Colombia's most powerful cartel, Clan del Golfo. In Brazil, the Primeiro Comando de Capital, or PCC, is a major player. Balkan traffickers are active here as well. And in Ecuador, the Albanian mafia has become extremely powerful. They all organize the cocaine's journey to Europe, but they don't operate on their own. Various criminal groups cooperate across production, logistics, and distribution. By the time the cocaine ends up in a container at a Brazilian port, it's already passed through 4 or 5 different hands. Cocaine routes are constantly shifting, but the most popular ones are by sea, usually hidden on container ships, or sometimes under them, or in the sophisticated narco subs we covered in this video. Mexican cartels smuggle cocaine from here to Mexico. From there, they ship it east, often to Spain. The Colombian Clan del Golfo either sends it directly from Colombia or to other transit countries in South America via speedboat. From there, it heads to Europe. The Albanian mafia sends the cocaine from here and here to Ecuador. From there, it travels on a container ship through the Panama Canal toward Europe. Sometimes,
Ooh.
the drugs also take a detour through Africa. The Montenegrin 𝙂𝙚 and 𝙂𝙚 crime groups both maintain a strong presence in Brazil, often collaborating with the PCC. From here, they send cocaine on container ships to West Africa, often to Senegal or Gambia. There, they collaborate with the Italian 𝙂𝙤𝙤 mafia. To hide their trail, the drugs are redistributed. Then they move on to Europe, usually via the Iberian Peninsula. But when you look at all the routes cocaine takes into Europe, two places stand out. First, the port of Rotterdam. But Europe's biggest gateway for cocaine is the port of Antwerp-Bruges. This is Johnny from Antwerp. He's 15 years old. Behind the wheel is a guy he doesn't really know. Actually, except for his friend sitting next to him, he doesn't know anyone in this van. But that doesn't matter, because Johnny stands to make a lot of money tonight. A few days ago, he and his buddy were approached by an older guy. He asked if they wanted to become 𝙂𝙗lers, coke runners. The job sounds simple. Break into the port, get drugs out of a container, bring them out of the port, and earn a ton of money for it. Thousands of euros. It sounds awesome. Even fun.
No.
But now it's dark and cold, and Johnny has no real idea what he's supposed to do. Too late to back out, though. Two guys in the group lead the way. They've done all this before. So after a moment of hesitation, Johnny follows them and climbs over the fence. The port of Antwerp is gigantic. It stretches across an area of over 11,000 hectares. That's bigger than the center of Paris. In 2024, over 13 million containers were handled here. It's a simple calculation. A huge port with lots of cargo also means lots of cocaine.
We have a lot of ships entering the port of Antwerp, but also Rotterdam, Hamburg, Le Havre, which import legal goods from South America, from Africa, from far overseas.
We sat down with 𝙂𝙗𝙣𝙚, a spokesperson for Belgium's federal police, for an exclusive interview.
And those criminal organizations, they abuse the legal ways of transporting goods to transport their illegal drugs as well. They always choose the path of the least resistance.
In 2024, Belgian customs seized 44 tons of cocaine in the port of Antwerp. But that's probably only a fraction of what moves through here.
There's estimations that about 10% of the cocaine that enters the ports in Europe is seized, but nobody's sure. There's a dark number, of course.
Criminal groups go to extreme lengths to ensure their illegal cargo avoids detection. They've reportedly smuggled cocaine in sugar bags, with oranges and bananas, and in backpacks hidden among frozen vegetables. Or they smuggle a liquid form of the drug inside clothing, coal, or plastic. They hide it in cans of joint compound, inside fresh pineapples, even inside individual coffee beans. They might hide it under the floor, behind a wall, or in the engine compartments of refrigerated containers. But even if most cocaine likely slips through, it still sits here, in a container inside the vast port. And getting it out of there to sell it on the streets is a completely different challenge for organized crime. They're always playing a high-stakes cat-and-mouse game with the authorities. They have to stay inventive, constantly finding new approaches. And a few years ago, a new method emerged that completely changed the game.
Criminal organizations, they recruit people. We call them coke runners.
They're in. Johnny has never seen so many containers in his life. A sea of giant metal boxes stretches out in every direction. Hundreds, if not thousands of containers stacked so high it feels almost unreal. Row after row, wherever he looks. It's overwhelming. How can they find the exact container they're looking for? Luckily, one of the older guys has a phone and is in contact with the client. He sends over a photo that roughly shows the spot plus the coordinates. Time to go. Right turn here. They try to stay quiet, ducking into the shadows, listening for any unusual sounds. Johnny's pulse is racing. He can hear the heartbeat in his ears. After this, it's to the left. Then there should be a red container between blue and yellow ones on the bottom row. And bingo. Johnny and the others probably don't realize just how dangerous this all is. The port's authorities have implemented an array of security measures to combat the surge of coke runners.
About exact technologies, I'm not going to give you any information, but we work hard together with everybody. We have a lot of exchange of information.
The port is packed with security cameras. Police officers, customs agents, and thousands of workers are in the area every day. The port also relies on smart technology, smart cameras, sensors, and a network of 6 automated drones. They take off from these docking stations and do 18 flights a day. The drones are managed from here, the port's command and control center. It's unclear to what degree these drones aid in catching potential coke runners. Using the cameras inside the drones, port staff can zoom in and out of different areas in the port's infrastructure. Soon, they say, they'll also have autonomous drones, sending back images and data in real time. These drones would feed information straight into Apika, an AI assistant with a 3D interface.
Hello, I'm Apika, your virtual assistant monitoring all activities in the port of Antwerp-Bruges. Thanks to a digital network of drones, cameras and sensors inspired by the 5 human senses, I can tell what is happening in the port 24/7.
It can analyze the port's activities and acts as its digital nervous system. But first and foremost, the police are doing old-fashioned patrols.
The most effective method in catching coke runners is be present in port. That's what our maritime and river police does. They're present all the time. They check up on a lot of people. If there's any suspicious behavior, they know it most of the time.
Last year, they checked more than 10,000 people. In 2024, they caught almost 100 alleged coke runners. In 2025, it was nearly double that. Of course, it's unclear how many they didn't catch.
Fair.
And then there's another huge challenge: corruption.
It's very difficult to get drugs out of the port without having someone inside the port. So somebody needs to put a container in a certain location, somebody needs to communicate the location to other members of the criminal organization.
These insiders move containers so coke runners can access them quickly. For that kind of assistance, port workers can make over 100,000 euros. Preventing corruption is absolutely crucial for port security. If nobody was telling Johnny and the crew where to go, they'd never find their target container. They made it. Now they need to get in. They pull open the doors and see bananas. But right there, among the crates, exactly where they should be, bags full of cocaine. Johnny throws a bag over his shoulder. It's heavy. As the shoulder strap bites into his neck, he's already picturing a new phone, maybe even a car. Time to sneak back out. Shit! The port police have spotted them. 2 take off in this direction. The 3rd runs this way. Not a smart decision. Doesn't he realize that he's running straight toward the water? Johnny and his friend just stand there, panicked, frozen. These boys are the bottom of the food chain. Catching them won't get you anywhere near the higher-ups or the cartel bosses. They don't usually reside in Belgium. But 𝙂𝙂𝙣𝙚 tells us she and her colleagues are hunting these individuals as well.
And we really try to trace up to the instigators of the criminal organization, the principals of the criminal organization. And there's a lot of them being brought to court.
What's the biggest fish that you caught?
I won't give you any names, but if you Google it, you'll find them.
Well, okay, let's find out. There's 𝙂𝙂𝙣𝙚𝙧𝙖, a cocaine kingpin linked to the so-called Mokro Mafia. In 2021, he ordered the transport of 11 tons of cocaine that were intercepted in Antwerp. In 2024, he received a 20-year prison sentence for it. In 2021, international law enforcement agencies cracked the encrypted messaging platform 𝙂𝙂. They were able to read hundreds of millions of messages sent by criminals. As a result, a court in Belgium sentenced more than 100 criminals in a mass drug trafficking trial in 2024. And at the time of our reporting, the trial of alleged drug boss Floor Bressers is still ongoing. He's accused of co-running a network that shipped huge amounts of cocaine from South America to Europe. He allegedly made around 230 million euros from just 10 shipments. When Johnny and his friend were first approached, they might have thought it would be a quick and easy job without any consequences. Well, they're taken to the police station. Johnny is brought to an interrogation room. He's scared and completely overwhelmed.
The first person they see is not their mother or their father or nobody they know, but it's just me, because I'm going to be there with them in order to help them, because as a minor, they can't be interrogated by the police without being the presence of a lawyer. My name is Chantal van den Bos. I'm a lawyer and I often defend minors or adults concerning co-deals. So I think I represented more than 100 cases.
Just like our fictional Johnny, coke runners are often very young.
The youngest I saw was 13. We see a lot of young guys, mostly between 15 and 17 and a half, just when they're still minor, because it's an advantage.
Because when you're a minor, you can't go to jail. So teenagers like Johnny might think they won't face any consequences, that it's their chance to make a lot of money. For north of 10,000 euros. Johnny won't see any of the pay he was promised. Instead, he spends the night with a lawyer and the police. The officers start questioning him, but Johnny doesn't really know who he was working for, and even if he did know, telling the cops wouldn't be a smart idea. Because if Johnny were to give up the person who recruited him, he'd be in serious danger.
They don't realize it, but once you're in that world, it's not that easy to get out of it. Of course, the organization wants to know whether they talked, what they said, and what they were doing.
Chantal van den Bos always suggests her clients not tell officers anything. That way, they avoid being seen as snitches.
Because it's into the file, everyone can read it, and it's much too dangerous, so I suggest them to keep silent. I can't put my youngster in danger. I can't do that.
But whether they talk or stay quiet during questioning, underage coke runners face serious legal consequences.
So when you're a minor, you are arrested and then you have to appear the next day before the juvenile court. The juvenile judge can send you to the juvenile prison or to a detention.
They might have to stay there for weeks or even months, but it's different if you're over 18.
If you're an adult, you come into the prison. Afterwards, you get a sentence, and that's between 40 months, and you'll have to pay a fine of about 8,000 euros, if you're a first offender, of course.
In February 2025, 3 Dutchmen were arrested in the port of Antwerp for allegedly attempting to retrieve cocaine. The authorities didn't catch them in action. There was no cocaine on them, but they did have the typical tools of the trade with them. Now they face over 3 years in prison. Belgian authorities are taking a tough approach, hoping it will make an impact. They also want to crack down on the recruiters behind these operations.
There's new legislation now telling that whoever uses minors in order to do something for them, the sentence they get is much higher because of the use of the minors.
The Netherlands has seemingly taken a page from the Belgian approach. In the past, first-time offenders usually just got community service or a suspended sentence. Coke runners had to pay a small fine of 90 to 100 euros for trespassing if they weren't caught red-handed. If they're caught inside the port without a valid reason today, they can also end up in prison. Even if coke runners manage to pull off a few jobs, there's often no way out. You don't just tell a criminal group, "Nah, I'm good," once you're done risking your freedom.
Once you do something for a criminal organization and you get money, it's very difficult to say no next time.
Because this isn't an exciting heist movie. It's work for a cartel. Some of the most brutal, ruthless criminals on the planet. Over the past few years, violence in Antwerp has exploded. Drug gangs are fighting each other in the streets.
We have seen that there are a lot of bombs in Antwerp. Drug-related violence is huge here in Antwerp, and it's very dangerous.
In an anonymous letter, a Belgian judge even expresses concern that the country is turning into a narco state. But it's not just Belgium. In Europe's port cities, there are shootings, car bombings, kidnappings, torture chambers. So if these guys want you to do another coke runner job or move another container to the bottom row, they won't take no for an answer.
If you don't do what they want, the criminal organizations, they can also threat your family. And a lot of people don't know that. They don't realize it until it's too late.
Many times I have the assumption that they really don't realize what's going on and what they have to expect, what is going to happen to them. For me, that's like you didn't realize it, you didn't think about it in advance. You're just thinking you're recruited, you think about the money you're going to get. You don't think about the danger afterwards. You're not thinking about the troubles you're going to be in or what risks you are taking.
And the cartels
Fair.
couldn't care less if kids like Johnny end up in serious trouble.
The criminal organizations just send other people into the port.
Other young people will be recruited on the street and brought to the port. Business as usual.
Unfortunately.
The cat and mouse game between cartels and the authorities shows no sign of slowing down. The cartels keep adapting. They're always finding new and creative ways to smuggle cocaine. One new method is the so-called Trojan container. Coke runners hide inside a container and are brought into the port from the mainland.
Those people have to stay inside of that container for sometimes a few days until they get a message from the criminal organization that a container with drugs has arrived from overseas. Then they have to get out of the container, try to find the container with the drugs, remove the drugs to another container or take it out themselves.
The port police are constantly trying to keep up, but they know this is a fight they can't fully win.
So we try to manage it. We try to be able to seize as much as possible, not only by coincidence, by scanning goods, but also by information that comes from inside the organizations and from intelligence all over the world, from abroad, from Belgium and so on. We also know we won't be able to eliminate drug trafficking to Europe. As long as there's a lot of money to earn with drug trafficking, criminal organizations will try to do it and try to bring the drugs into Europe.
Experts stress there's no single solution to drug trafficking. It requires multiple approaches at once: reducing demand, prevention, health initiatives, research, and law enforcement. For the time being, all parents and teachers can do is try to discourage teenagers from getting involved.
We have people who come afterwards and they say, I'm very happy I was caught at that time. It changed my life. I get another view now and I go back to school. I get an education, I get a degree. And I'm very happy that I'm not living that life as I used to be. Others, they come again and they say, we made another mistake and we're trying to make the best out of it. Every youngster we try to help, or every youngster we can help, it's one life or an environment that we are going to save, so it's very important. If I can change a little bit of their life, if I can just put one domino stone to change, that can make a huge difference. And even if it doesn't work, it's a never-ending story, but we have to invest in it. There's our youngsters, they're our future, so we have to invest in them. It's very important.
Big heist of the century. Ooh. Ooh, fair, absolutely fair. Anywho. See here. Alright. Why'd I have to use the bathroom right now? I gotta see if we have another video. Ah, shit. Hold on, quick. See if another. Like, as soon as I wanted to end the stream, like, oh, you have to use the bathroom now. Like, come on, can you just wait? Let's see here. Alright.
AI that went live. Now, a day ago,
Alright, get these bathroom real quick. Fuck.
Video, and this topic is very massive. It's still on my mind, and frankly, it's kind of a bigger deal than I actually expected. Now, I want you to kind of look at this video as sort of like a precursor to a much more larger video I have, because I've been noticing lately in the tech YouTuber sphere, there's a lot of people that are pushing a lot of these AI companies into running software, whether it be through sponsorships or I guess genuine interest, like, hey, you know, you can connect Claude, you know, you can connect a lot of these companies to your computer and just let it look through your systems. We're entering a world where I think people are totally okay with letting a big tech company out of California pilfer through their computer. All because I guess it can do one task slightly better automated. Now, a few days ago, obviously, as you remember, Claude Mythos started to show its public-facing, understanding to the world, right? Basically, it's the next big model that companies like Anthropic are promoting. And of course, the big deal is you can't use it. In fact, nobody can use it. I can't use it. You can't use it. Only a few companies are allowed to even have access to it. Now, whether it's because this model is so expensive that giving it out to people is going to bankrupt the company, or let's be completely real with you, a lot of it is just building enough hype so that you can actually, you can actually prep well for an IPO that's coming real soon, for people to invest money into you. Now again, the reality of it is something like Mythos was really, really huge because according to the guys over at Claude, there was some crazy exploits that it found. So again, to kind of go back to it really quickly, obviously it found bugs in things like OpenBSD, FFmpeg, and of course found and chained several vulnerabilities.
Alright, I'm back, chat. Now I can actually, like, get to talking a little bit. Anywho, chat, pretty much I just want to say thank you everyone for joining today's stream. Thank you everyone who followed. Thank you everyone who subscribed to me on YouTube. Thank you, and just thank you everyone who are actively supporting me. I do appreciate it a lot, and I hope to just give back to everyone here. Give back to my blitzies one day. Anywho, I think for the rest of the night I can just maybe get something to eat and then I don't know, relax. That being said, I just want to say thank you everyone for joining today's stream. My name is Brandon Blitz. I'm a variety streamer. I stream lots of vid games. Try to suggest me, and as well as I draw art, and hopefully I'll be doing 3D model for everyone here. That being said, I can't get going, Blitzies. Bye bye, matinee.